All right, so let's go ahead and hop onto the TPC finals of day 2. Okay, it's not really the finals. Day 2, I think, qualifies them to. Let me see. Actually, look at the format. Qualifies them to the SEA regional finals. So people who do well, looks like it's like qualifies them to regionals. And so day 2, we have 32 players. It looks like 32 players. We got our boys Wanna Sleep Owo and Owo Xiaoxiong Stay Alive Terry. We got Black Big Big. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I think we might do that as if it's like kind of a midnight countdown, but not really. Also, I might have a sub do his coaching live on stream. I did some sub coaching giveaway, right? And some people won it. And there's a little bit of miscommunication. I said that we should have met up today at 9 a.m. Pacific. And he thought I said 9 p.m. Pacific. And I said I might be streaming during that time. So if I said like, hey, look, if you want to come on stream and do your sub coaching live on stream, we might be able to do that as well. But otherwise we have to reschedule. Otherwise, we have to reschedule. Okay, let me put just a little bit of like audio up. I think this is good. What is MC? It could be a lot of different things. MC could mean the master of ceremonies. MC could be McChicken. Could mean misclick. It could mean the first 2 letters of an Irish last name, like McGregor. It can mean Minecraft. You tell me what MC means. It's from your title. What? My title is TPC. Macau. Sorry. It's me, BBB. Oh, what up? We got Black Big Big in chat. We got lost in the sauce. I don't know. People usually don't say like MC for Macau, but yeah. All right, so we start off with silver augment. Do people like good for something? Oh, he actually takes it. I feel like I would take AFK before good for something. I feel like good for something is not very reliable. Ever since they like fixed it, it used to actually give 50%. Good for something was accidentally coded to be the gold version of it as silver, and it was super broken. And now it feels like it's okay. It's okay. I don't know if anybody here are big good for something fans. It averages. Oh, the stats aren't very good. The averages are 4.8, but the win rate's pretty high for a silver. So maybe it's like if you're able to act, it's like good for playing for wins. Like 13.5% is actually pretty high for a silver. It like does as well as like cybernetic bulk and harm assist and stuff like that. At silver, I mean, it's a silver. Like you can't really expect too much out of it. Hard to say. Sorry. AFK is better. I mean, that's what I think. That's what I think. It's only okay with Heartsteel. I mean, it kind of depends on your setup. Kind of depends on your setup. I wasn't trolling. No, I was the one that was trolling. I was the one that was trolling. Most people play this augment incorrectly. Good for something? Okay, so what is your favorite? So what do you think people are doing wrong with good for something in particular? I'm interested in what you think. No, I actually think good for something can be decent. if you are playing like a no item slam synergy. Like if you have gold opener, good for something makes sense because you don't have items, so you might as well just continue to rack up things like economy. It also could really matter if you're trying to play for like a early roll down comp. So like if you're playing good for something for like a Olaf reroll or something like that, or like a Yasuo reroll, something like Annie, something that you need to actually Annie makes the most sense because you're not playing it for frontline. You like when you play Annie, you're usually trying to prioritize Annie items in the back line, and then your front line doesn't have items, so you can try to like roll for that. Like that makes more sense. Caretaker's ally. I think it's better just to conserve HP and play for top 4. The thing is, good for something doesn't seem like it's a top 4 oriented augment. Its top 4 rate is actually quite low. Its top 4 rate is bottom percentile. Good for something bot is the 6th worst top 4 rate, but its win rate is pretty decent. Double Jinx, so he's going for Jinx. Going for Punk. Punk with Caretaker's ally. Did he get Twitch or no, he probably didn't. Caretaker's ally can actually be good for Punk if you get Twitch or Pantheon. That's like really good, but it doesn't look like he got it, so he's just selling it, I guess. He doesn't have any 2 costs. Has he 26 gold? I mean, it could be just a gold opener. This was 3 cost champion portal. Let me actually put it in the top right. Portal is 3 cost champ. So people could have started with gold. Best way to play, but I don't know the best way, but a lot of people seem to throw their openers with good for something, try to force max value out of bad spots. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, we got AFK. I mean, AFK, so 65 gold, like, Jesus, man. This guy's, he could level to 5 naturally here and still have enough gold to make max interest. This dude is swimming 83, 60 gold. 83 HP, 60 gold. Like, this is crazy. And he has a bow. So he had full gold opener into AFK. Man. He can play anything, but it's going to be more likely AD because he has bow and a glove. You're not really looking to play AP. Also, I think AP wants to play from high tempo now because if the main AP carry you're thinking about is Karthus and maybe Ahri, and both want to play from ahead. You don't really want to play from behind. You can play Karthus Pentakill from behind, but it's just it's not great. Unless you like turbo hit. If you turbo hit, you hit Akali 2, Viego 2, Karthus 2, you're probably fine with it, but I personally don't like playing Pentakill from behind. You just run into one Heartsteel board that just like caps out and you just die. Okay, this person's rerolling Annie or no? He's level 4, he's 4 loss. He has a tier and a rod, nothing slammed. We'll see. Katarina with silver tickets. So we got a Katarina reroller. This person looks like he wants to play Heartsteel. Ah, the Frodan. 2 Heartsteel into don't hit 3 Heartsteel until end of stage 3. That's the Frodan. That is the Frodan. So Katarina reroll. We have Punk reroll, Katarina reroll. Like what looks like 2 Heartsteel players. Half the lobby right now. An Annie AP player. I've only seen RE3 win, never RE2. Oh, actually, I actually just got an RE3 win. Let me see. My match history. Yeah, see, I actually just won with Annie, RE3 Augers. It was completely uncontested in the lobby, which was nice. 4 Pentakill. Ooh, maybe KO reroll with the bow. I can see it. If he gets a rod here. Oh, please. Rod. No rods. Do you guys know something, by the way? I played a gold opener yesterday, and I only got one component off of Krugs, so I had 4 at the end of stage 2. I had 4 components at the end of stage 2. Did you guys know that you sometimes you don't get compensated for your gold openers if you get a 2-item opener? I had 4 items, and I couldn't slam anything that was good for my comp because I was playing it was Wandering Trainer. It was Wandering Trainer, so I had to play like Disco AP because it was my portal was Disco. My trainer was Disco, Bruiser, and Spellweaver. So I had to play AP. And I got dropped 80 items. And I was like, I still can't. And I had to lose streak stage 2 because I don't have items to slam. And Wandering Trainer, people have some cracked boards. And I couldn't slam anything on stage 2 or stage 3. So I had to take an item augment on 3 too. I went 6th that game. Once I got online, it was pretty good, but the problem is I couldn't preserve any HP on stage 2 and stage 3, and Disco needs to. If you were to top 4 with Disco this patch, you need to tempo, and I couldn't tempo at all. No, 6 is actually good, relatively speaking, because I actually had a really cool board with 7 Spellweaver, 5 Disco. Who is this? The Punk player? Guess the Fallen is generally kind of bad for Punk. Because you don't play that many units. Salvage bin. Well, his items are pretty terrible. Rod tier. So maybe Salvage bin can help fix it. He's also at 8 Vi's and 7 Jinxes, so he probably is going to roll a little bit here. BT. I can go on Vi. Okay, Vi 3. Probably just put BT on Vi then. If you BT Vi, then you have... But you're still stuck in the... Your salvage bin just gave you a BT. Oh my god, he's rolling. Oh my god, he's rolling to 0. I don't think it's IE. Vidya just kind of bad on Jinx. The nice thing about BT, it still gives you an opportunity to play for Even Shroud. Wow, so he sold his BT and destroyed and deconstructed it just to remake it. Okay. This does not look like a great Punk spot. This does not look like a great Punk spot. Tier. He might be thinking about going Hodge. I don't think you want to make adaptive. The new variation that people are playing with Vi is you go Edge of Night. You kind of build Vi like you're building Zed or Viego. You want to go like Edge of Night, healing, and AD if you can get like that combination. So you go like BT, Giant Slayer, or like Hodge IE, and then Edge of Night, something like that. Just build Vi like you're building Zed is like the TLDR. And Vi actually can do some work. What up, Beppo? Do you ever ignore your Wandering Trainer and just go for what you hit? I have played against people who have done that. I played against somebody who literally didn't use any of it and just played Heartsteel and did fine. So, you probably can sometimes ignore your Wandering Trainer. But mine, I had my Disco was literally Gragas. It was Disco, Bruiser, Spellweaver. So I felt like, at the very least, I should play into that. Like, Gragas, it means I have 2 Gragas, like, doubled up. It felt like I should have done it at least. Blue buff, Kaisa. Kaisa's really underrated as a 2 cost right now. I think the good players know that Kaisa Headliner is pretty good, but I surprisingly see a lot of people still pass it when I watch streams. Spatula on a Mordekaiser. Any pentakill emblems? Any pentakill emblems? Any pentakill emblems? Persevere. That was the guy that took good for something. Titans. He's got Gargantuan Resolve, right? So he can play for Titans. Combat Caster gives the Fallen, Hodge, or Idealism rather. Portable Forge. A lot of econ augments and item-based augments. Game 6 is really fun. Can't wait for your reaction. Oh, I can't. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. What up, Jukes? Good morning. Did you watch the Pow World More video? I didn't, actually. Did he talk about, like, the game design stuff? What did he say? What was the summary of it? Which game are we on? We're on game 1. We're on game 1. We're on game 1. Actually, I can go ahead and just write it. Game 1. And there it is. Mort was a Pokemon dev, was he? I thought he was Nintendo. And like Nintendo obviously has multiple IPs and stuff under them, but I didn't think he worked on Pokemon. As far as I know, he worked on the Mario versus Donkey Kong. MVDK. Cash out. You don't really raise the stakes here. Best Friends is becoming a more popular augment. Let me actually look at it real quick. Best Friends is like I think Best Friends is actually quite pretty good when you play AD right now. Looks like people mainly pick it for Punk, but it looks like it's just a solid augment at the moment, just solid combat augment. It's also good against a lot of the AD comps in the lobby because it gives you armor. A little bit of stats is nice. He thinks Power World stole. Okay, well, I defer to more experienced game devs. It's funny because I technically am a game dev now. I work at a game developer studio, so you would think that I would want to be keyed on this, but the reality is, this is the kind of stuff that I need the more seasoned vets to chime in on, because I've been working at the studio for about 6 months. And I do feel like I have a good grasp on things, but it's nothing like working on the ground floor at ground zero to know how much you don't know. Like, I've been working at 6 months for game dev, and the 6 months have taught me that I have no idea what game dev really is. Or rather, like, it just tells me how much I don't know, if that makes sense. Another example would be like if you were to start like taking TFT seriously and you start climbing, you start to realize how much you don't know about the game when you're like trying to take it seriously for the first time. And so I try not to like weigh in with like, here's my opinion as like a 6-month game dev. Like I really don't. I really like I try to go in with a humble mindset, as if I don't know anything. Okay, we're rolling for Yone. This is a Yone board. He didn't make set 2 because he's trying to just roll only for Yone headliner. Oh, that's the stuff. He hit with 30 gold left, 52 HP. Amazing. Amazing spot. And now he has IE Hodge Titans with Even Shroud. My god. Whoa. This guy hit Ezreal 2 and Headliner Poppy? Oh, no, sorry. I thought I saw a Headliner Poppy. Headliner Viego. Viego. Oh, no, this is a Headliner Ezreal player. What am I talking about? Pentakill Viego. Man, talk about drowning in it, right? Like, this guy is suffering from success. I look for units like this all the time, and this guy hits both Ezreal and Viego in his roll down. Truly, the rich get richer here. Another sword. You can go Deathblade if you want. Edge of Night for Zed is also viable here. His front line is really trash. Wow. Set 1 via Poppy 1. Oh, he's gonna play York over Zed for the pentakill. Does he have pentakill in? No, he's 2 out of 3. He can play this Mordekaiser. He's playing 3 Moshers, so he can actually take out the Poppy if he wants to. Viego, pentakill emblem. So he goes for Viego items. I like red buff here as well. Oh, he's playing Gargantuan. Gargantuans? Double Titans? Little buddies. Oh my god. Oh my god. And red buff on Karthus is totally fine too because of the mana generation. Wow. Wow. This lobby is actually kind of insane right now. Outside of like the Ezreal guy did have a bad front line, but like it does look like a lot of people are getting very strong. That might be the grossest and most reductive version of my video possible. Oh. Uh-oh. More dog ear in chat. I'm gonna ask. I think the reason why I think that the reason why I'm like hesitant to even give any opinions on game dev right now is because I work with people who are, in my opinion, actual badasses at game dev, and so like I actually kind of like I'm basically just gonna take whatever their opinion that becomes my opinion. Not because like I think that I can't think for myself, but because the people that I work with are very good seasoned vets, and they know a lot of what they're talking about. So yeah, and they have like really good level-headed takes on stuff. They're not like they're not like immature and like entitled and everything like that. They're very level-headed. Good folks, good people. Vex Executioners, Emo Vex, 7 Vexes, JGGS. Yeah. Wait, what's his augment setup? Gifts of the Fallen and Healing Orbs. Okay, decent. Nothing too crazy. No like exposed weakness, emotional connection stuff. Frodan, you need to check this opener I just got. I mean, I'm kind of in the middle of something, but if it's like an insane opener, maybe my mod can check it or something. Can I post an image upload to IBB? If there's any mods in chats, you can check it for me. I don't want to click on any suspicious links, you know. Silver tickets. Kiana. Okay. What is IBB? I don't know actually. That's the thing. It's I've never heard of that image hosting. I didn't see much Power World gameplay, but I saw what reminded me of free Korean games era. I mean, my sister-in-law is playing it right now, and she enjoys it. And in the end, like I personally think that there's one thing we can learn is that there is a very big demand for better, like Pokemon games for adults. I guess is probably the best way I can describe it, because Pokemon games are right now very much marketed for young people, and I think that people want like better types of those kinds of games. And I mean, the thing is, like, it's not even a really Pokemon game. It's actually a survival game, right? It's people say it's like Ark or what's another survival game? I don't know. Rust, something like that. But with Pokemon and guns. I mean, I want Pokemon TFT. That'd be kind of cool. I would love if Nintendo and Riot collabed on a Pokemon set. Like, do both companies want to become like trillionaires? I'm down for TFT and Pokemon for a set. Thank you for all the content. Greetings from Mexico. Hola. Thanks for stopping by, Eric. Have you run into any good single-player auto chess-esque games? Not really, because I think that I think right now auto chess is still kind of a new genre, and most people are trying to figure out the good PvP version of it. But I think there's probably a market for PvE. The closest I can say to single-player auto chess games is Super Auto Pets. Super Auto Pets is very single-player, front-facing. It is technically like multiplayer, but it's like completely asynchronous. You have infinite time to play your turns, like literally infinite time to play your turns. And but you're technically going up against another person who created their team. Okay, we got okay, actually that's really good. We got ZZ Rot Portal when our front line is very bad. Also, we still haven't upgraded our front line. 47 HP, 1-star front line, 1-star Poppy, 1-star Set. This guy's trying to go to level 9. Okay, so he thinks his board is good enough to get to 9, and he has 83 gold, so he's trying to go to 9. Ooh, these kinds of spots are like kind of hard because on the one hand, you hit Ezreal 2. On the other hand, you have Olaf 2 as your other 2-star units, and you don't want to roll because you have to roll like a lot of gold. I think those are I think those games are actually surprisingly hard to play because if you make any mistake, you go from like what should be like a 1st or a 2nd to like a 6th or a 7th. So I don't know. I would personally roll there at this point. I think that my lessons from AD Flex is that you can't really get away with bad front line. Not when people are re-rolling in the lobby. And we know that there's a Vex 3 player We know that there's a punk player. Like those units, those comps can really punish terrible frontline. So I don't know. I wouldn't. I would probably roll. He lost, so he's at 33 HP now. Go to the Ezreal player. Go to the fast 9 player. He's fast 9ing. You guys. One guy is fast 9ing with Heartsteel, and we're busy watching a guy roll 6 gold. TFT observing is probably like the biggest area of improvement for tournaments. We're just here staring at a guy doing nothing. Frodan, did you play Dota Underlords? I played like a couple games of it. I actually didn't really like the Underlords aspect of it. Oh, this guy actually itemized the Vi 3. Terry. 2-item Jinx. So he actually went for the Vi build. Edge of Night plus 2 healing. It's probably because he had awkward items. Unified is also really good in Punk because you get so much free HP. Whoa! This Vi just remote punched the Ezreal? Wow, that was actually kind of close. Kind of close. 25 HP. A lot of HP is really close. You know, I actually might do... I think I'm going to do this video. This Terry guy, I might actually do... I want to do another Into Deep. And I think I might do something like the new Vi build. This is CN Vi. CN Vi is trying to play carry Vi, and you make Jinx a secondary. But the problem is he has no Last Whisper. And I don't think he had anti-heal either. So like his comp, he actually might bot 4. But no Last Whisper, like no Shred, no anti-heal. It's kind of bad. But we'll see. Super Auto Pets is pretty fun and simple. Great way to get into auto chess. Yes. I actually think Super Auto Pets is a great way to introduce people to the genre. I actually think that if TFT ever could find a way to make it profitable, they could stand to benefit a lot by making a single player mode of TFT like that. But I think the problem is they wouldn't be able to monetize it. Because then people have a single player mode and people wouldn't actually play multiplayer, and one, the queue times and stuff like that would probably suffer, and two, there's no way to actually make money off of it. Unless they like you're cutscene AI, I guess. You know, maybe people wouldn't care. People wouldn't care. It's a good single player auto battle that came out called The Last Flame. Okay. I don't really have a lot of time to do it. Is it offline? I might play it on airplanes. If I could play something like that on an airplane, I wouldn't mind. Akali 2. Oh, this is actually... Can you sell something? 7 KDA? Not really. That's unfortunate. He has to lock. Hearthstone Adventures made so little. Yep. You're not wrong. There's a reason why they canceled it. Hearthstone Adventures was like a great player experience for people who loved it, but it's very niche. Oh no, this Yone. Oh, his Edge of Night Yorick 2 is like trying to tank, but like he dropped the aggro. This is why I was worried about his front line. We missed this guy's roll down, and now he's gonna go bot 4. We'll see. But like this is the spot where I talked about, right? Like you get to this Ezreal spot and you're thinking like, man, there's no way I bot 4. I hit Ezreal Chosen and I can go to 9 with like 100 gold. He reforges both of his ZZ rods? Oh, I don't know about that, man. Wait a second. He has no front line. He said he actually just said I want even less front line. No way. No way. No way. No way. I can't get behind that. I can't get behind that. Now we have Randuin's on a Ziggs. Man, this Poppy has a gargantuan task in front of her. He didn't even give Randuin's to the Poppy. Like, she doesn't even have resistances. Okay. No flame, but this guy, I think he deserved to go bot 4. He's dead. I think that ZZ Rod cost him like a lot. Okay, now I understand that ZZ Rod's not great, but like you can't. That's like your only source of frontline. Like Yorick 2 isn't really a tank, man. He's actually a carry. So you were playing. He was playing. Let me see. Let me show you guys. He was playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carries, Poppy 2, and a set. I don't know, man. I don't know. All good, all good. It's fine. Like, hey, look, you guys saw me play yesterday, right? And I like completely threw, and I make mistakes. It's actually really easy to get in your head when you play this line because I think Heartsteel Ezreal is really easy to throw, because you're juggling so many different things in your head. The two things that people mess up the most in this comp when they're playing it is one, whether or not they have sufficient frontline, and two, their positioning. It's the things that they mess up the most. It's so easy to kind of ignore that because you're thinking so much about your carries and your items and how you actually play your damage sources. They're usually not focusing enough on your frontline, and you're usually not focusing enough on your positioning. I think that was an N. I think you reforged 1 or 2. Yeah, I don't think you did reforge both. If you're like thinking double Z-Rod doesn't do enough, I can get that. But like, man, I don't know. It was. He definitely didn't have a damage issue. Is probably the better way I was describing it. he had a frontline issue. Frodan, watching you study things helped me qualify for the Greece Star Cup Finals. Oh, congratulations, man! Amazing. Double IE on a Kali. For people who don't know, double Infinity Edge is like the new thing that people want to play on Ezreal, because apparently double Infinity Edge is mathematically optimal damage on units like Ezreal. Now, I'm not entirely sure what those models were based off of. If it was like 2 hearts or 2 big shot, or like, are you trying to play it with like a specific setup? But allegedly. Yo, this Punk board top forward. Not bad. Not bad. You got a Punk emblem. I mean, that's probably a big reason why. He still doesn't have... he still doesn't have anti-armor, you guys. He's no Last Whisper, no Even Shroud. His best armor reduction is the Vi. Okay, Vi is actually on the Zed, which is huge. Stun the Zed. Wait, no. Okay, now she stunned him. Both procced Edge of Night. Vi turned around. And... wow. And now she's onto the Lucian. Oh, he's going to win this fight. Ezreal Linted! Oh my god, Ezreal Linted! He actually TP'd and blinked into the Jinx. Oh, this comp top 2 with Vi carry. Hey chat, Vi, CN Vi. CN Vi. Alright, so you know what? I'll cover this on my next YouTube video. CN Vi did it. Boom. No shred, Vi 3, no problem. If you get 6 bunks, it's pretty easy top 2. I mean, he didn't have it on stage 3 or 4. So it's not like he had it and he cruised to a top 2, man. I think he had to scrap together. He also has 8 HP. So what likely happened was he needed to preserve it. Like, he was 8 HP. He could have easily bought forward. Okay, well, it looks like he doesn't beat the pentakill. Pentakill, OP. Pentakill's very, very good. Go, 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 go. All right, that was a good first game. We got to see CN Vi in action. CN Vi in action. I'm so mad I got to play 80 flex, got perfect items until I got 5 rods. Oh, if you're playing 80 flex and you get 5 rods, play Kane or Ziggs. And then until then, you play around Lux / EDM. It's an out that not a lot of people know. It's an out that not a lot of people know. Okay, let's go ahead and skip to the next game. That was a good game 1. That was a good game 1. That was a lot of back and forth. Players who were like really ahead and high rolling kind of fell behind, and some players who were behind Dude, do you guys remember the Jinx player rolled down to 0 at 3-2? You guys remember? He rolled to 0 at 3-2. And he actually came from behind and managed to get a second. That's pretty good. Does Luxu do enough? I mean, to preserve HP, you actually play trio carry. You play Zed, Lux +1. And you can actually, because you just be surprised. You'd be surprised is all I'm gonna say. You trio carry. Okay, and the other lobbies. Oh, Black Big. First. Our Owo boys. Owo second. Owo fourth. Where's Xiaoxiong? Where is he? Where is he? He got fifth. That's not bad. Team Owo. Okay, if anybody's asking, by the way, that's not an actual clan. That's just that's just. I guess Owo is very popular. You sample Lux? I think you sample Zed or Lux depending on the matchup. If you need backline access, you sample Lux. Because if you have like IE Zed2, that actually kind of messes up a lot of backlines. You just be surprised. He just like beams out of nowhere and just like wrecks your backline. It's crazy. It's tech people don't really know about for the most part. Okay, so I knew what the first portal was because I saw the 3-cost champion. I'm gonna need someone to help me here. Unless it makes it obvious. Okay, this is game 2. What's the portal? I had 10 pentakill last night. Well, hopefully you won. Your graphic is covering the portal. Well, I know, but like it also showed on screen. Okay, here. How about this? What is the portal? Right here, in the top middle. What is the portal? Can someone tell me? Heartsteel Cassante. Radiant Blessing or Loot. So like Radiant something. I'm gonna type Radiant. Component? Okay, so probably a Radiant item then. At the end of stage 3. Sentinel Cassante. You know SEA believes 6 Sentinel is still kind of good. Okay, 3's company. Oh, nails the set. And he gets to make econ. Actually, can he make 20? He can. He sells everything. He can make 20 because this is 12 gold. Wow. 20 gold, 3 heartsteel. Expose weakness. Expose weakness when you play around in executioners. You can slam Shojin, first item. Expose weakness, by the way, doesn't even have to be reroll executioners. You can totally just play cards as a Kali, but it's best with reroll, I think. Another punk opener. But he leveled, so he's not going to punk reroll, probably. It says Fortune Equipment Reward. Okay, so if that's the case, then it's Radiant items. That's probably going to be the case. Pandora's with the Titan slammed onto the Olaf, so maybe he's thinking about Olaf. Patient study. Was this the game people said it was wild? No, they said it was game 2 or game 6. We're on game 2 right now. We're on game 2. Stars are born. Stars are born Olaf. I mean, he's gonna do it to himself, but you guys remember my Olaf game yesterday, right? Man. I'm tilted. I actually got back to the LP that I lost yesterday, so I'm back at the same LP I was when I was in Challenger. But like, dude, that game yesterday it was something else. It was something else. It felt like you didn't have to FF. Oh no, I probably didn't have to, but it was just funnier that way. I don't know. I was playing that game for content, so the way I was thinking about it was what makes like the best short. Because I was like, look at this incredible low roll. I want to turn into a YouTube short. So I was like, if I just FF at the end, it'd probably be funnier. So, yeah. But like, it's okay. I probably could have played for like a 7th place. It's probably fine. But like, dude, I was at level 5. I rolled to 0, and I had 6 Olafs. Like, it was pretty dope. I'm down to disable Stars Reborn. Really? Why? Because you think it's OP? Problematic? You might be the first person I've heard. If you think it's problematic, you might be the first person I've heard complain about it. Nar 3. Okay. Usually you go for Kale as your 2 cost that you want. I think Kale reroll is probably pretty good. So I'm probably gonna do the punk game for my next YouTube video. The one after that, I might do Kale. I think Kale is actually quite good. Not even like an off meta thing. I actually think that it might be one of those things where probably like almost every lobby should have a player who's thinking about Kale type of good. Like not S tier, but like a firmly A tier comp. But it's still something that's developing right now. All I'm saying is I've seen enough Kales do very well to the point where I'm like, this comp is for real. This comp is for real. Not like a niche, you know, oh, I'm gonna play it's a niche comp. I'm gonna play, you know, Lux reroll. I mean, Lux reroll is cool. It's just that she's off meta. And you don't want to. I think Kale is actually should be part of the meta. The hardest part about Kale is the combination of your item dependency and also pentakill is crazy contested. Wait, Terry's going for another punk game, by the way. He has extended play. Is this guy just a Vi one trick? What's going on? This guy is actually just trying to play punk every game. Okay, but extended play is a much better setup than Caretaker's Ally. He had Caretaker's Ally game 1, if you guys forgot. The fact that he got 2nd with Caretaker's Ally is actually kind of impressive. With the fact that he didn't have like a immediate like slam dunk punk start. Which Jinx is better for headliner? Punk. Actually, I have a guide coming out for Punk Jinx today. Currently, it's in my drafts as TFT _Academy _3 final. That's the name of the video. But it's a work in progress. We'll probably come with a different title. Rory, can you ask more to bring back Lux into the meta? Nope. Nope. I actually think if Lux was a staple reroll comp in the meta, you guys would hate it. I am 100% a big believer of it. I don't know if you guys remember, but the last time Final Flash Lux was part of the meta was set 6, Arcanist Lux, and people hated it. They hated it. It was absolutely miserable to play against because Arcanist Lux would just straight up delete carries. And it's just like you couldn't play. It felt like you couldn't play the game. And also there's Blitzcrank hooks. And so it's like one of those things where like people would have corner units to bait, but then they would hook it for Blitzcrank. So like you're here in the corner. Guess what? You get Blitzcrank hooked. You're here. Guess what? Like Lux just like beams you anyways. It's like it's really really toxic. People hated that, man. So I'm good. I do not want Final Flash Lux to be part of the meta. Is he gonna sell the Vi headliner? No. So the CN version of Vi is you play around Vi 3 and you make her the primary and you make Jinx the secondary. I found this out yesterday, after like 2 days after I recorded my punk video. So I might do back-to-back punk videos. Who knows? I I mean, I think YouTube will like that. I think YouTube actually really likes punk content. You know what I found out is actually a little bit of a sad reality. I found out a common denominator that if you include the word flex in your YouTube videos for TFT, you get less views. Yeah, I actually did an analysis where I went through all the analytics of everything like that. Any video that has the word flex in it does worse. It's sad. So I'm gonna rename my Ezreal flex video to just call it Ezreal. I told my editor, like, let's try something out. Let's just rename that video and take out the word flex and see if that impacts the stats. Is this guy going Olaf as well? This guy has really good Olaf items. And he hit headliner Olaf. But oh, wow. Dude, contested Olaf? Oh my god. I mean, 2 people could hit. Wow. Wait a second. This guy's contesting the Stars Are Born and he's just hitting? No way. He's one off. He's one off. Oh, but the last one is like the hardest. And you know what's so funny? He's going to get offered like Metalheads or something like that. Does Metalheads give you an Olaf? Let me see, actually. Metalheads. Gain a Kale and a Gnar. Okay, never mind. But it's funny because a lot of times when you like hyper roll this, when you're at like 8 and you miss, it's like the next augment just would have given it to you anyways. When you play Yasuo, you roll down till you hit Yasuo 3 and you get blinged out on 3-2. It's just like the game. I don't know. It always feels so bad, but like that's what happens all the time. Is it the same if flex on the thumbnail? Yes. Yes. Everything that has flex in the thumbnail or the title has done significantly worse than other things that don't have the word flex in it on YouTube. That is something that I'm like, I'm a little bit sad that I've come to that analysis or conclusion. Hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a statistical anomaly, but yeah. Okay, so he took the duplicator. All right. Any guesses to why this has happened? I think people are not really that interested in flex, quite frankly, on YouTube. I think they're much more interested in like forums and on Twitch and stuff like that. But part of it is it also might have it actually might be circumstantial. But anytime I do a flex explanation, it takes longer than it does for a regular for a normal comp. Like the Jazz comp, for example, you play the same 7 units every single time. You play MF Bard, the 3 super fans of Lilia, Kennen, and Nico, plus Echo, and then whatever you can hit for your and Kaisa, and then whatever you can hit on for your 8th unit. You always play that. People rather learn that and explain like what you do within that confines than here's like Ezreal, and here's like Ezreal Zed, or Ezreal if you hit Caitlyn, or Ezreal if you play another Ezreal, or if you don't hit Ezreal at all, here's how you like play around it. Like people don't want to hear that, I think, in my opinion. And so because the and it's not even necessarily they don't want to hear that, but it's almost like too long of an explanation. Did you guys ever have does anybody here play board games with a group of friends? There's in a group of friends, there's usually, for people who actually play board games like at tabletop, there's usually one person in a group that tends to over-explain things before you can even play your first round, right? Like you sit down and before you can even like make your first turn, there's people who like take 20 minutes to explain the game. And I've never had a group that does gaming like this, and there's always been one guy that does this. They just like take 20 minutes to explain the game, and some people are just like, just let me play the game. I just want to like figure it out. I think that's how people feel when you explain TFT Flex, where it's just like, okay, like whatever, just let me like play the game and like let me learn. And I think that's kind of the vibe that maybe people are getting off of that. Okay, he's playing Edge of Night Vi, so he's trying to go for Hodge and IE maybe. Flex requires thought. Prismatic gives me serotonin. That's a good example. That's a good summary of it. Yeah. Okay, so we have a spatula. I mean, it's okay. Like it's for the more engaged hardcore people. And I think in the end, I'm gonna always try to have things for multiple kinds of groups of people. Like I don't want to just cater to people who are masters and above. I don't want to only cater to people who are like, you know, gold to diamond, like around that range. I saw someone comment that they have outgrown my content because they hit diamond, and I was like, okay, well, you know, that's fine. I'm not for everybody, but I kind of chuckled because I was like, man, I don't know exactly what that means, man. He's like, man, I love Frodan content, but I have like outgrown him. I'm like, all right, good luck. Is this guy gonna raise the stakes? He's already raised the stakes. He raised the stakes again. This guy thinks he's Setsuko. He double raised. He's at 288 and he double raised. Giga Chad. Maybe he just wanted to get to diamond. Yeah, you're right. I don't judge, man. I don't judge. People have different goals in TFT, and maybe what he meant is he's just tired of listening to me yap or gab about TFT. Gab. If you take a stand and play after Punk is already a 3-star, does it give you the rewards retroactively? No, it does not. I found out the hard way. Okay, this guy should not raise the stakes. He knows that there's another raise the stakes player, unless he wants to go one level deeper and grief the other raise the stakes Heartsteel player. He's at 86 HP. I can see it. Do you guys think raise the stakes should get nerfed? I actually think raise the stakes is actually kind of fine. I don't know, except for if you have a Tiny Titan scenario. But I actually kind of like where it is. That's something that I think they like basically nailed. Maybe Heartsteel itself could get nerfed. Like maybe Set is probably a little too good, or you know, or 2-star Felios is too stable. But you kind of want those units to be also played outside of Heartsteel. I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't seem that OP? Yeah, I think they landed it. Maybe every video has parts that's useful for high elo and part for low elo, so the video is for everyone, but not every part is for everyone. I mean, I think that's so. Like the difficulty is that if you do too much of that, then your video is for nobody, right? But it's a good thought. I have to just figure it out. Part of it is I think a lot of people are still not entirely sure like what is optimal for stuff like TFT on YouTube. Most people just use it as highlights, like a highlight library. Chaser, thank you for the prime. Got gold as a cash out. He has rapid fire Aphelios, but he doesn't really need it. Oh, he cashed out. This is a raise the stakes player. He cashed out. Oh. Wait, you got a Heartsteel Ezreal. Okay. Well, I guess all's well that ends well, I suppose. That's not a bad compensation. Lucian. He's playing a Nami 1 in his front line. He needs to get rid of that. Zach goes in. Okay. Wait, he actually has a great board. For a 4-1 board? This is great. Even Shroud. Pop the Anvil. Rageblade Lucian. Maybe Guard Breaker or something. Third item Ezreal is like important. Oh, Warmog. I can see that. Frontline. Actually, that's a great call. Frontline is haha. You know how I always say the two mistakes people make all the time is frontline and their positioning. So cybernetic bulk, Bis augment basically, or this kind of setup. Steadfast. I think he wants to save that vest in case he wants to make Edge Knight, and his frontline might be good enough with that Zac too, but we'll see. Is too healthy augment dead? No, not at all. Too healthy is actually really good with specific reroll. Oh, double IE. I can see double IE. Yes, I forgot about that. That is that's what a lot of people believe to be BIS. Double Infinity Edge. I can see that. Double IE Ezreal. At the same time, I also feel like people sometimes over prioritize, meaning like they try to greed for BIS when a lot of times you're just trying to like stabilize, so you use Heartsteel to like out resource people. But it's a give and take. Sometimes you're supposed to greed, and sometimes you're supposed to tempo. That's what makes the line hard. Terry, this punk game is looking equally awkward for Terry. He's still stuck on Jinx 2, I think. Why does he want Edge of Night? Usually Edge of Night is good for Zed, but I like the third. I want a third item on Ezreal as a priority because he's a 2-star unit. Your headliner, you generally want to itemize, right? We talked about that at the very beginning of the set. How to play around headliners. Always make sure your augments and your items and your comp is lined around your headliner if possible. Or you use the headliner to fill up a hole in your comp. So you have 2-item Ezreal. Don't put an item on an Ezreal one as a Z1. I wouldn't mind some 2x speed of games from different ranks. You can show and tell optimal items. I actually have my most recent series, TFT Academy, where I do a direct guide of a comp as opposed to like a VOD analysis of turn-by-turn stuff. I do that at 2x speed. Well, Caitlyn still sucks, unfortunately. Looks like Caitlyn is not able to avoid going 8th. He went dead last, my god. 7th place at 38 HP. This guy died in stage 4. Oh. Sag. The Stars Are Born player? Oh, okay. It was the Olaf player that whiffed. That makes sense. Never mind. It was the Olaf player that took Stars Are Born and Giga whiffed. Still watch guides that peaked GM last set. Some are a bit repetitive. I understand having to explain what to level and roll for 3 costs for the new players, but I only watch off-meta guides now. Yeah, exactly. I understand it. Like, I want to make... I don't want to assume everyone always knows everything, but that might be repetitive for people who are... experienced. And also another thing too is like there's only so many different things to analyze in some ways. Like there's also a reason why some other people don't really want to do that kind of content, because they do find it repetitive. They don't want to have to explain the same things over and over. Locket. Zephyr's actually not bad. I think Zephyr's really underrated. Yeah, I like this. Aegis is generic. You could also go for needlessly big gem. Gem is a way that you can go over the top in a lot of late game scenarios because it's just a lot of bonus damage. Extra gold's also nice. JG. Oh, it's Scrappy had mentioned. You must have put a glove on him. Also, I think this is looking like a Stimmy portal. This doesn't look like a Radiant item thing. This looks like Radiant Blessing to me. Frodan, was there a wandering dummy portal pro game recently, or players avoid? People generally avoid it. I don't know. I don't remember anybody that any game. I'm surprised they didn't go Banshees. Banshees is more for melee carries. Oh my god! The double! Getting the Olaf is a really big deal. Because now you can isolate and gang up on the Olaf. Wow. Double Zephyr. Oh my gosh. Giga Rat. Do you like Wandering Portal? Oh, it's I mean, I think it's fun, but also I do think it's a little I mean, do I like it for the World Championship? No, but I think it's a fun portal. I like more things like it in the game. I think my favorite portal is Loot Subscription, actually. Hall of the Nine. I think that one's actually really fun. It's like total bullshit, but it's It feels oddly fair. I don't know. It's like I don't know how to say it because like everyone gets the same type of reward. It's like fair bullshit, if that makes sense. Which is honestly the secret sauce of TFT. Yeah, the spatula and stuff like that is like the tomes. I totally see like that, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, you take it knowing that a percentage of the game is gonna be like that. Alawi 2, Ezreal 2, Martyr, Unified. This guy won the game. This is the guy that got griefed, right? No, it's staying alive. Okay. The other guy that got griefed with his 5 Heartsteel cash out, the Open 4 player, was it wasn't this player. Would you say Scuttle's unfair? No, not really. Not really. Everyone is like basically filthy rich. Kale 3 and Olaf 3. Oh, this setup's actually pretty good. 6 pentakill, 4 bruisers. I mean, obviously he wants to get to 6 bruiser, but you can't really do that without Alawi. We got 6 punk. Wait, you're telling me punk was contested this game? Terry and Wawa contested punk? That's a BG, man. 2 punk players, 2 Ezreal players, 2 Olaf players. Still getting wiped by Ezreal. So this is the problem with punk. You just get outscaled. In general, like someone said 6 punk is a free top 2. Like, I mean, I where's the free top 2? I guess people are gonna be like, well, he's contested. But like it just shows you that 6 punk is not free top 2. But, you know, it's easy for me to cherry pick and push my own narrative. Like, well, look at this exact moment where I had no context of. See, it proves my point. I had no context of it. It's not. I'm cherry picking as well because I'm looking at an example of where it just happens to conveniently fit exactly what I was saying. Dude, in EUS GM, it's so contested. You legit can never play without someone else trying to play it too. They just get random Jinx stage 2 and they force. That's interesting. I really feel like in NA has the Ezreal disease. They just see a single sword and 1 Cassante and they say me Ezreal. That's NA. Or they see or you know they see like any component really. I was gonna say like a tier or Rod, but they just say like, okay, if I'm not Ezreal, it's just Karthus. That's usually what NA is. It's 4 people playing Ezreal or 4 people playing Pentakill. Even if it doesn't make sense. But a streamer said it, it must be true. He can take a Heartsteel emblem. 5 Heartsteel. 5 Heartsteel. Bedge. Staying alive. Bedge. Make your face cam bigger, bro. But then I'd be covering the graphics. You want me to cover the players? What if they have like a picture of them? Or if top left where I cover the graphic? Or maybe I do the opposite. Maybe I have my face cam be 75% of it and the gameplay be in the bottom right corner. At one point, there was a Twitch meta in the Hearthstone era where that used to be the case. Because I don't know if you guys know, but just chatting was not really a category in Twitch for a long time. And so part of the reason why Hearthstone had so many viewers was because people used it as the just chatting category. So what they actually did was put Hearthstone, the rule was 10%. Hearthstone had to be 10% of the screen, but 90% of them would be the cam. And so people would be, but then they had to play Hearthstone. So they played Hearthstone, and then they would like do dancing or like just chatting, whatever, and then play a Hearthstone turn, whatever. And the sad thing was people thought that meant that Hearthstone was going a lot, but in reality, it was the just chatting category. I don't know how much a percentage viewer it was, but it was a significant portion of views. And so when at the time, the category was called IRL when it first arrived instead of just chatting. But then we realized that a lot of people weren't doing IRL streams. They were just sitting at home. So it was the category known as IRL. So when IRL happened, a major decline in Hearthstone viewership happened. And everyone was like, is Hearthstone dying? Is the state of the game terrible? Like, Blizzard, like, look at the balance of this. It's doing awful. And it was like, guys, like, I'm not entirely sure if you guys have caught on to the fact that part of the reason why Hearthstone was successful is because, like, half the cam girls were on the Hearthstone section, guys. I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. Do you like Last Whisper? I feel like Blue Buff Zed, since we have Even Shroud in your... I think Blue Buff Zed's actually kind of underrated. But, I mean, if you don't have Even Shroud, Last Whisper is mandatory. But I know a lot of good players don't really like Last Whisper right now. Because they'd rather have just straight up damage items on their carries. Also, because bows can be used for a lot of other better items. Last Whisper feels on the lower tier of, like, bow items you can use. Like, Red Buff is better. GS is better, Nashers is better if you're playing AP, that kind of stuff. So like a lot of people would rather have bow be repurposed. Not to mention that Even Shroud gives components like Cloak a lot of value. So that's another thing about it too. It's like thinking about your item economy. If I'm like NA and I only play Ezreal Pentakill or KDA, how do you approach improving? Improving like your fundamental skills at TFT. I actually think playing those comps will improve more of your fundamental skills in TFT because you have to learn how to evaluate instead of like kind of rolling for a specific set of units. So I think basically just be very critical of your own gameplay. If you're like serious about improving, you should record your own games, watch your own games, see if you can spot mistakes. And if you're like a Giga Sweat, ask someone better to watch those games with you and ask them for your thoughts. Just let them speak openly. Don't even like try to tell them like, hey, I know I made this mistake. Just like let them see the exact same mistake and make the same exact comments that you would and see what they think, because they might actually evaluate it differently. Dude, Terry top 3'd again, by the way. Terry top 3'd again with Vi carry. CN Vi. You know, CN Vi might be pretty legit. CN Vi might be pretty legit. We have Heartsteel, Ezreal, top 3. Is Xiaoshang, what was he playing again? Oh, he's playing another Heartsteel game because he has Gen 2 and Aphelios 2. So 2 Heartsteel boards and the Punk reroller. IE Hodge Vi. Punk Caitlyn. Okay, I can see that being part of the reason why he has a good amount of DPS. I think Caitlyn's actually a really good emblem holder in some kind of these situations. Okay, but Vi is like stuck on the tentacle. And yeah, just too much stuff to cut through. Now we have the ghoul, we have the tentacle. The tentacle came back. Yeah, all right. Oh, 2 people alive, 2 people on fire. You know, this is even more egregious on this patch, because you don't get fire until 1 round later now. So it's actually harder. It's even more rare for this to happen now, because because the streak doesn't start until 5 now instead of 4. Zephyr on the Thresh is actually pretty good. Stops him from getting CC'd. Thresh in these kinds of late game fights is like often a big X factor. Lucian 2 with double Rage Blade. Oh my god! Whoa! Did you see, dude? I want this Lucian to get a little bit more frontline because he was about to go nuts. He was straight up just like one of those old asteroids. like the Galactica games or whatever, where you just hold down the fire button with your spaceship and you just drag it left and right. That's what he was just doing, man. Can someone explain to me how Alawi and Ziggs died to Yasuo? I mean, if Yasuo attacks Ziggs twice, Ziggs is gonna die. Ziggs is not a tank. So if he finds ways to the backline, he can probably kill it. Can you show the damage? I'm not in game. I'm not in game. I'm watching a VOD. I'm watching a VOD. Alright, look at this Lucian. And Lucian. Oh no, he's just ramping. He's just ramping. He's ramping. He's getting the lawnmower. He's giving a couple revs. And then he's about to go crazy. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Yo! And it's actually pretty hype. Wow, I actually like that. Dope. I remember hearing about a bug with Lucian scaling past 5-point attack speed. That was last patch, I think. I think they fixed that. I wonder how much of this is like if Thresh gets really good items. Like, what if he gets, I don't know, Mana Zane and Eternal Winter or something like that. I'm just trying to think of things that'd be pretty good in this matchup. Okay, well, if the Thresh keeps getting Zephyr, it's not going to have an impact. Or at least not much of an impact. And Lucian. Whoa! Oh, wait, our front line crumbled, though. And Lucian. Ooh! Man, these fights are so swingy. I feel like both players are winning by 5 to 6 units. He got his Thresh Zephyred. What was the diff that fight? What was the diff that fight? Took out the Alawi 2, so he just played like a higher quality unit. Okay, Alawi 2 is a pretty good quality unit. Maybe just the second Alawi 2 wasn't doing anything. Just, yeah, jazz bonuses. I can see that. Yeah, Diamond Hands would be good. Yeah, Diamond Hands would be good. Agreed. This guy's trying to go to 10. If he can get to 10, he can add another synergy. Okay, Jin. Wow. Okay. 10 for what? Lucian 2 with red buff. These boards are so capped. They're so strong. What the heck? Yorick 2, Alawi 2, Thresh 2, Set 2, Ziggs 2, Lucian 2. Whose front line's gonna hold longer? Thresh is gonna cast again? Oh, but he lands on the Ziggs. That's pretty big. Oh, the Lucian's inting! The Lucian's inting! Where are you aiming? Oh! It's so close. Holy moly, that was very, very close. The Thresh casting twice to lock down like is actually a really big deal. He gets another cash out. What can he make? What can he make? Country emblem, punk emblem, KDA emblem. 3 country. The 3 country Tekken. Get the horse. Okay, probably not. What would you even tech in for country? Probably Urgot or something for the Mosher? I'm not entirely sure. Jazz Emblem? Yeah, dude, if you get Jazz Emblem in this stage, it'd just be OP. Did he nail it? He got the Lucian. He got the Lucian. And the Thresh. Zephyrs. Our Thresh did not do very much. Okay, but we're killing the front line. It's backline versus backline. Oh, Jin 2. Oh, man. The Jin 2 sniped the Ezreal immediately. Man, these fights are too crazy. Too crazy. Oh, whoa. Xiaoshong. Dude, the Zephyrs are so nasty. He Zephyred the carry and the Thresh like every fight. Every fight. You can't keep getting Zephyred like that. Obviously, the late stages of the game, like variance is gonna play a big deal in those fights, but you can't get Zephyred like that. You just can't. You can't. You can't.
Listen closely and you might notice the music.
Black Big Big went 1-1. Hoggers. Nice job. Oh, is this the Lunar Festival? Oh, it's cute. I kind of want the board. I might swipe for the board. Black Big Big 1-1. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the beginning of the round. Oh. Can you link the VOD? Sure. Do we have the scores? I mean, we could look at it real quick. This is the scores. So right now, Black Big Big went 1-1. This guy went 2-2, 14, and then a bunch of people had 13, including Terry. He went second and third with Punk. Stay Alive, we watched. He's like the Heartsteel Ezreal player. And then yeah, 9 points. This is 32 players. 32 players. This is the score so far. Sniper U. These names are so funny. 2017 FIFA, yeah. Do you think this guy even plays FIFA? It's just so random. Maybe they did in 2017, yeah. That is true, that is true. Training dummy. We're in game 3.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
Just training
07
dummy. Shanksta! What up, man? Thank you for 6 months. Half a year already. It's because 2017 FIFA was the best FIFA to ever come out. Was it? What made 2017 FIFA so good? We started doing FIFA Twitch Rivals in like 2019 or so. 2018, I think. So we were like a couple years out from 2017 FIFA. Well, what was so good about 2017 FIFA? Black Big Big. So this is the #1 point scorer right now. BBB. They're all the same. No, they're not, man. No, they're not. Fast play, good mechanics. It went downhill after that. I see, I see. I never was like super big into sports games. The most sports game I ever played was probably actually just 2 sports games. I played NBA 2K series a lot before they started becoming about like VC, and then I played a lot of MLB The Show. Those are my 2 favorite sports games. Series franchises. The sports game I probably played the most of was like the most of ever was probably NFL Blitz. But that was like a really long time ago. Really long time ago. Because all you did in that game was figure out how to game change your cheese. Ooh, prismatic. I mean, March of Progress is usually like an insta take right now. There's so many viable rerolls that March of Progress you can just like take and just like you can even like wait till people commit and then pick your own thing. Pick your 2 cost and 3 cost you want to reroll. Do you speak Chinese? A little bit. A little bit. Is Disco that bad now? Yeah, you don't really want to play Disco at the moment. Disco is it's not that Disco can't do well, it's just that it's not reliable. Oh, is he going for something else? Pandora's? Stationary supports. Okay. Radiant Relics into Radiant TG. Okay, so we just got roll the dice. Interesting. Okay. I'm too relaxed. Haha. No offense, Mr. Frodan, but you look like a chess enjoyer. What does that mean? I look like a chess enjoyer? I actually was studying a lot of chess toward the end of last year, just like getting into it. And I kind of fell off a little bit of the chess train because the community seems like they're a little bit. And how do I say this? The chess community is not really my cup of tea. So I was there doesn't mean that there's not good people there, and it doesn't mean I don't respect them, but it's just like I don't know. I can handle like one or two Setsukos and Sojus, but when there's like 50 of them, it gets a little much. It gets a little much. Okay, so we slammed Spark and we have Radiant Blue. Are we going Annie reroll? 5 Annies? It's too bad that we don't have Emo Annie. Radiant Blue buff on Emo Annie would be like, would probably be the nuts. But you could probably just play Annie. You don't have to actually reroll those. You can just play Annie into Ari, and you can just play Radiant Blue. Or even you can actually even go for a reroll like Lulu. If you see that other people are rerolling, you can go like reroll Lulu with that Radiant Blue buff, and it'd be really good too. There's no one balancing the game. I guess. But chess is like, no one's balancing like white versus black. But I mean, chess is pretty balanced. No, I actually think chess is a great game, and I also think that the educational community is great in chess for sure. Like, I love all the tools of it, and I love that some people are like really anxious, like really enthusiastic to help people improve. It's just more like chess drama is like, I don't know, it just feels, it feels a little like to me it's like funny, but it's also kind of lame. I don't know. Everyone's accusing everyone of cheating now, and like it's also, I don't know, it also feels like I tried to follow it for like a couple months, and it was just like, man, it's just not it doesn't seem like something I would particularly enjoy having to deal with. I more power to them, but it just feels kind of dumb. You are just afraid you're gonna get accused of cheating with anal beads. Yeah, that. 2 Radiants, 2 shopping sprees, Twin Terror. I wonder if this shooter DD guy's got a Twin Terror comp cooking. Yesterday we discovered that Twin Terror can be played with a bunch of different comps. You don't have to play it with executioners. Oh, he's playing Twin Terror Olaf. Wait, is he though? 7 Olafs with IE. Wait, IE and a belt on Olaf. Is he actually? I think he's playing executioners. Dude, if he combines his Olaf, guess what? He has a Nashers. How do you cheat in chess? Specifically, people believe using chess engines. Some people are using chess engines to like do perfect play and things like that. And then there's also people accusing others of over-the-board cheating through some pretty elaborate things. And then, yeah. If you actually want to get into it, if you love drama, like chess drama has got you. You know, they really can provide the entertainment. If all you care about is the ruckus, then yeah. But I think I'm a little bit too pure about, like, I just want people to play the game. And I want the drama to be about the game and not about, like, everyone thinks everyone's cheating.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
Umaboshi, thank you for the 5 months. Hope you're doing well, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. The only cool thing about chess is amazing off-book plays. It is a game. Humans are worse than AI now, so what is the point? I mean, humans are worse than AI in a lot of things, but that still means that's worth pursuing. Just because humans do it worse than robots doesn't mean it's not worth doing. Humans are a lot worse than robots at like lifting things, but you know that doesn't stop us from doing a bunch of Olympic competitions. This guy is trying to lose streak, so he put his dummy in the corner. Let's talk about the Heartsteel grief drama. I mean, there's no drama, in my opinion. It's actually fake drama, which my take on that is I think that Spencer obviously is doing something pretty unsportsmanlike. I actually even replied to it. But it's not like he like went out of his way to like target the player. He was just throwing for content, which like streamers do on the regular. And like yesterday I FF'd, and who knows if I like FF'd and I messed up somebody else's game. And also it's not like an equivalent trade, because if he FF'd versus somebody who's not playing in a competition, he would have done to like almost anybody. And if it just so happened to be one person that was probably grinding for snapshots, but if it didn't matter to him, he also like gave LP to everybody else, right? Like, because he like FFs. It's not like an actual black and white scenario, so you can't really like ask and demand things to be punished for that when he was clearly just trying to like meme around. Now you can be like, it's not funny, it's not professional, and whatever. Like that, I'm not gonna necessarily push back and argue with you against. I told message Spencer, I'm like, don't be a freaking idiot. Like I actually specifically like, because Spencer's my friend, so I like went to him. I'm just like, hey, just like don't do this stuff in the future. Like you're not doing yourself any favors, and also you're just being an idiot. And he's like, yeah, it was a bad joke. And so like you know, now so like at this point I don't think we should be like trying to get people punished for making unfunny jokes, because if so, then we have a long list of people to go through, whether it's streamers or people like esports casters, or you know, anything. Like there's a lot of like bad people who are like doing really bad content and throwing for content and stuff like that. So it's an unfortunate situation that it just happened to be against a competitor who had to be going into snapshots. But as a PSA, I don't really endorse people trying to grief others competitively. That's like a really bad thing in general that we should not be encouraging. Okay, we have a tome. This guy hit a tome, by the way. He has 7 KOs and he's going for tome. Sticks and stones. But he already has shred via KO. So, probably not. Unified, just a generic combat augment. He's going for KO 3. One more KO. Oh, he has it. He has a duplicator. Wow. He's just using all of his free rolls. He gets Viego on 6? Okay, so he had free rolls, so he said I want to roll just in case I can use his duplicator or something else. Hits a pentakill level. What? Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me, man. Nah, no way. Oh boy. You'd love Football Manager? I mean, I think so. Today I was messaging a friend. One of my friends DM'd me out of the blue and said, can you explain to me TFT? He works at a pretty high level position in an esports company, and he's like, I've never followed TFT. I'm interested by it. Can you like explain it to me? I know that he loves football and he's a huge, I want to say Chelsea fan, which I'm not super up to date on my football club and what's going on there, but as far as I know, that probably isn't a good thing. And so he's like, so I told him like, hey, you know, TFT is actually kind of like a football manager in the sense that every turn you're like sending out rosters and you're hoping, you're like tweaking it, and you have like, you know, you're managing your resource, stuff like that. And I think it helped him connect the dots a little bit on it. He must be sad. I actually haven't kept up with football in quite some time. I followed it a lot more when I was living in Europe. But these days I feel like I'm kind of out of the loop, especially because like I think when Saudi started buying a bunch of players to play and then you know like, and then Messi came to MLS stuff like that, I was just like that was when I was like, okay, this is like I don't know what's gonna happen here, but oh, someone took Recombab. Tiny Titans, Recombab, Silver Tickets, Unified, Cyberbulk, Silvervale. Chelsea Keck W. Are you from EU? No, I lived in Europe for when I worked in my 20s for a couple years. Really good experience. I highly recommend especially if you're American, I highly encourage you to live abroad if you can. It's a really good way to broaden your horizons and perspective and, you know, maybe even grow up. Like Milk, for example, was like, I want to grow up and be an adult. One of the things I told him is move abroad. If you can live abroad, you'll grow up real quick. You don't have time to be a baby anymore. Okay, so we found Kaisa, and we're going for Radiant BT with Deathblade. Radiant BT. I guess you could play that on pretty much any melee carry. It doesn't look like he's gonna re-roll. Maybe like Viego, Akali. Akali is kind of weaker with BT. You actually don't even really try to like make Bis Akali. You could also be thinking about reroll with Yone. So he has like Radiant BT and he has a Yone on the bench. You could be thinking about playing Yone. Yone Riven. He has Silver Veil as well, so he wants to play melee carry. Okay. But like this, I mean, that board is insane. That KO board is probably top 2. Trajectory wise, not like seal the deal, but trajectories for top 2. Where did you live in EU? I lived in Berlin. I've lived in Berlin, Germany for like 2 years of my life. In my early 20s. Why take Radiant BT? I mean, is it even that bad in the stats? Let me go ahead and look it up. Radiant Bloodthirster. It's pretty good in the stats. It's actually one of the higher performing Radiant items. If you think Radiant red buff is good, they did nerf it. But if you think Radiant red buff is good, it's basically around the same power level as that. And around the same, a little bit, like a touch weaker than Radiant Giant Slayer. It's pretty good. Jinx with red buff IE. So probably playing Ezreal, level 750. This is the Executioner player with Twin Terror. I mean, it's a safe way to go about it. Do you speak German? Oh, not for many years at this point. There's a lot. I mean, I lived in Germany, what, like 8 years ago now? No, 9 years ago. It's no, actually 10 years ago. Wow, it's been 10 years since I lived in Germany. I moved back in 2014. Mein Deutsch is nicht so good. But it's fun to bust out some German phrases and stuff like that every now and then. And it was like, oh, sehr gut. And I'm like, no. It's not. Nine. But, you know, it's always fun because German people don't expect me. Like, if they hear an American, they don't expect me to speak German at all. So if I can surprise a German with it, it's pretty fun. Okay, we got a Spatula. Probably going for... Well, I was going to say Pentakill, but he has a country setup. Is there a reason why you live there? I mean, I got a job to live in Europe, and I always wanted to go to Europe. I had never even been to Europe. The first time I went to Europe was when I moved there, so that was like a really interesting experience. People who... Someone said EA shouldn't fight it. That was it. So people who remember, who followed me all the way back then. This is 11 years ago now, which is a long time. Some people just dated themselves. Some people legitimately have been following what I've been doing for 11 years, which is really heartwarming. Thank you. But yeah, it was a very, very long time ago. Big grab bag. Is he trying to go for a specific spatula? Usually big grab bag with this spatula. He skipped. Oh, he's a level 8. He's not rolling a 7. Oh, pentakill Karthus. What? That's the best one. How do these players hit with so much gold remaining? I guess he's playing shopping spree, so he gets like a ton of rolls. He should just make pentakill emblem while he can. Running into some board space issues. Pentakill Kali. He needs to pick up his items. Pick up your items. This is a huge priority. Pick up your items. Pick up your items. Do something, man. Pick up your items. If he TPs, he's so lucky, man. If he TPs, he loses like whatever items is in that orbs. Oh my gosh. He's just standing on the orb. Pick it up. Pick it up. Oh, it was a reforger. Never mind. Never mind. This. You know what? This guy is actually the Rain Man. He was tracking how many items in his head the whole time. He knew. He knew that last item was a reforger. Oh, actually, it's Rabbit Chat. It's never mind. She knew. She knew. Grandma EPM, guys. Grandma EPM. Do you enjoy German breakfast? I will say one thing is that German food. Wait, hold on a second. How many target dummies do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 target dummies. Because we have stationary support, crashes dummies, and the training dummy from the portal. Why do you even need frontline at this point? You just have 4 dummies. Wait a second. He can actually give Randuins and locket value to the other dummies. He's giving locket value to the dummies. These dummies have locket as well. That is too funny, man. You forgot to count 1 dummy on the bottom left. Nice. Got him. Real funny, guys. Real funny, guys. Remember what we said about people making bad jokes? We're not punishing them, right? I'm down to reconsider that. Not getting item orders when you travel is just something that should be fixed. Yeah. At the very least, maybe it's like one of those things where it travels with you, but like maybe there's time to travel, right? You know how those items like float across the board? Like it's not even your items or your opponent's items. You're just fighting, and all of a sudden you see like a Shojin and like a red buff floating like past your board out of nowhere. I'm down to give Blitzcrank a passive where if there's a floating item from your opponent, he just launches a rocket grab and snatches an item. Next set, Blitzcrank is just a random passive where you just play a Blitzcrank because he might just randomly yoink an item from the sky because it just flies over your board. Suck on 7 Vexes, 8 Twitches, Vex in shop. Awkward. We also have a Samir in shop. We're kind of broke. 12 gold. I feel like Vex is worse on this portal because everyone has like target dummies that wastes her burst. So I feel like playing Vex on this portal actually might be like significantly worse. I wonder if it's reflected into the data. You might be able to see that in the data. Let me see. If you guys want a pro tip on how to use data and nerd out. So we're pulling up Executioner Vex. You go to Augment and Portals and Meta TFT, and you go Training Dummy. Oh my god. Training Dummy, it gets way worse. You lose 2/5 or 1/4. Sorry, 2/5. 1/4 of an entire placement. That is like way worse. Holy crap, that's actually like so bad. That means you like never play it. Yikes. 3 Radiant Relic augment picks on 2-1. Any idea why it's so popular? I think Radiant Relics is just an underrated item. Like the reason why, I also think it's I think Radiant Relics is actually kind of a skill testing augment because you have to kind of know how to pick it and how to play around it. Although like it does have some, it has variance into it built into it inherently because you know you're not always gonna get the item you want, so sometimes you can get screwed with bad item choices. But I think the reason why is because it's a very neutral augment because radiant items can be really strong, and it's about whether or not you know how to maximize its effectiveness. That's my take on it. I think actually Radiant Relics is a skill testing augment. Was that Vex 3? Oh, I mean, it's just like in general, just like use like what your this is where fundamental knowledge of TFT really kicks in. But Vex in general, the way you counterplay it is have her waste a lot of burst on targets that don't matter. That's why a lot of people put like Alawi tentacles in the front. You put Alawi tentacles like in A3 and A5 or A2, A6 in front of the Vex in the corners, and you just have her waste a lot of burst. And if it's not going onto your champions, then Vex is not actually that big of a threat. In the previous patch, she used to be so threatening that there's a secondary benefit of her AoE stunning, but now that's like reduced. So if she's like 0.75 stunning and not actually doing a lot of damage, then it's not that big of a deal. She's like way worse against like this portal. Rolling to 0, looking for 2 stars. Hit Viego. I thought he was gonna go for a Yone reroll or something like that, but looks like he's just gonna go for Titan's BT on onto a 1-star Yorick. Interesting. I kind of want it on the Viego. He also has like low DPS Ezreal, no combat augments, Last Whisper, which is, and Red Buff, which are 2 utility items and not straight DPS items. Also not even popping his Anvil right now. The Frodan not popping Anvil and like oh my god, I lost this fight barely. That's my move. That's my move. I have a lot of moves. I talked about Mob Psycho yesterday. You know how it's like this is like Reagan's special move. That's my special move. You can't? Wait. You couldn't sell the Anvil? Isn't there like 4 Radiant Relics that are extremely powerful? I mean, yes, but situationally, some Radiant items can be like really, really good. Really, really, really good. Like Radiant, like what just out of curiosity, what do you guys think is like the worst Radiant item statistically in the game based off average placement alone? Just throw out a guess. I have it right here on my screen. What do you think? What do you guys think is the worst? Just give a guess. Just give a guess. Spark? No, Spark's actually one of the best. Declaw? No. I have yet to see anybody. Oh, actually, okay, so Ryosh got it. It's actually Quicksilver. Radiant Quicksilver is the worst performing statistical Radiant item, Diamond Plus. 48% top 4 rate and 14.9% win rate. But even though its stats are bad, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that situationally this can be insane. 50% attack speed, and you get like all this. You get immunity to control for 30 seconds. If you have the right setup for it, it is bananas, right? If you have it on like Riven 3, like there's no way it's bad. So like so Radiant items are really about how you're using it. A lot of the stats on Radiant items are usually through cash outs, or like on Heartsteel or other really awkward, unfortunate situations. So Radiant items require you to really understand how to use them in a very effective way, which is a good thing for TFT. But like I would, you could give me 10 guesses and I would probably not guess Quicksilver. If anything, I would guess Quicksilver's in the like middle to upper half tier because like I know that people would get it situationally and can figure it out. But the reality is it's very specific. It's a very specific item. I thought it was JG. I think JG is like okay. Yeah, it's like 4. It's like it's in the middle of the pack. Slightly below average, but like in that middle band. Rage Blade, Gunblade. A lot of people think that this is the best setup. I mean, this guy's first in HP. He's so strong. This lobby is very strong in general. Like, a lot of people are very powerful right now. Two pentakill emblems. He's legit going for 10 pentakill. He has a pentakill emblem. He's gonna hit 10 pentakill. Yeah, Black Big Big is just going bot forward. This lobby is too insane. Hey, he got Radiant IE. That's pretty good. He reforged into a Radiant IE. That's not bad. But his board is like not good enough. Everyone else is just too strong. This lobby is just too high roll. Like, he wiped one of the units backline with an Ezreal ult. Dedge. Like, not a bad loss, but you can't really lose at all. So. Which is the highest? I'm not looking at it right now, but my guess is Radiant Morello. Oh, I'm wrong. It's Radiant Spark is the highest raw average placement. 60% top 4 rate. Wow. I would have guessed Radiant Morello, because Radiant Morello, because Morello is one of the most overstated items in general. So I was just picking out of a hat. So I think, okay, like, it's just a really, really overstated item. The Recombot player is going to go bot 4 as well. He's playing Radiant TGZ. Wow, Zed's in the back line. Oh my gosh. Well, Ari just got destroyed. Wait. Yeah. Nice job. Level 9 Olaf, dude. So did you know that if you have what was it? 40 gold? There's a moment that happened in KDA Cup. There was a player that needed Kennen on 9 for 9 true damage. And someone did the math and said that the odds were like 40% for Kennen on like 50 gold or something like that, 60 gold. I forgot what the number was, but there was a moment we were watching KDA Cup where someone needed to roll for a single Kennen at level 9 to hit 9 true damage, and the result was pretty surprising. You're actually pretty likely to hit. Yeah, that was Pokkigam. It was 62% on 50 gold. Okay, that might be a little high, but it was somewhere around that ballpark where it's like in the 40 to 60% range on like 40 to 60 gold, somewhere around that. Like that's like the ballpark. And I was like, really? That sounds crazy to me. Because there's 13 one costs. You have 18%. But yeah, someone did the math on it. It's or sorry, it's 10%. 10%. We're looking at level 8 odds. I was like, can it be really that likely? And someone said, yeah. I mean, so someone said like your chance was like 0.4%, and I was like, that sounds too low. like 0.4%? There's no way. 10 pentakill. I mean, surely. So this guy wins the lobby for sure. Home. He also hit like Live for Danger. Although Live for Danger apparently doesn't work with KO. I found that out. Allegedly, Live for Danger doesn't work with KO, or either like it doesn't do much for her. It does work, but like it's not effective for her. Two Virtue and 2 Warmogs are so bad as a 500 cash outs. I mean, not necessarily. It's like instantly frontline. Remember that one player that had Ezreal 1, or not Ezreal 1, Set 1, Poppy 2, Yorick 2, and that was his entire front line. He played 7 backliners, or 7 DPS units. He probably would have loved double Warmogs and Virtue of the Martyr. That probably would have been pretty good. But I think you're talking about relative for a 500 cash out. I can kind of get behind that. It does feel like some cash outs are like a lot worse relative to the tier. I mean, we top 4. That was RE1, right? RE1 top 4. Oh, there's RE2. But I remember for a long time this Radiant Blue Buff player was playing RE1. I talked about Radiant Blue being good for Ari, so that's a good top 4. This lobby is so high roll. This lobby is so high roll. Are they playing on 14.2? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I hate Tome. Yeah. You know who doesn't hate Tome? The KO reroll player. That person loves Tome. I saw that Goldmancer is the worst item statistically. Is there any use case for its takeover this patch? Well, any unit that really loves the AP, you can put it on. But the reality is, one of the best units to put it on, or two of the best units to put it on, got nerfed, and that was disco-related units. But you could play, if you were to play it right now, you would play it on early AP units, like a Seraphine or something like that, and then you could put it eventually onto like a Ziggs. Ziggs really like stuff like Goldmancer, raw AP. But it's very narrow. You're not because there's a lot of AP carries right now that actually really like having mana. Even Karthus right now, we used to be an AP champion, and now he's kind of a mana champion because he wants to cast more often. He gets AP naturally. So they took one of the few champions that were just like could use rods and stuff like that, and now incentivize you to build more mana. So like it's not that you don't want to put AP on Karthus at all, by the way. Like you don't want to go like Shojin adaptive or something on Karthus. But actually that build doesn't even sound that bad, but you don't necessarily need to prioritize rod based items as much anymore. Does anybody like last patch better than this one? I'm pretty sure that is true of everything. Like every set, you will find players who say this is the worst set ever, and you'll also find players who say this is the best set ever. TFT is an immensely popular game, which means that there's going to be people who you can find people who agree with your opinion no matter what. People who love this patch, people who hate this patch, people who think this guy is the greatest creator and smartest player ever, and people who think that this guy is overrated. You can find anybody to agree with you. It's a giant ass community with millions of players. You'll find thousands, if not tens of thousands of people who think the exact same thing as you. What emote is this? Steve Aoki. All right, let's go ahead and look at the tournament scores. Our boy Terry, top 2. Black Big, top 4. OO, where's our OO clan? We got 2 OOs in the top 16. Not bad. Oh, 2017 FIFA. This guy's having a rough day. 868. Goobums is the most overrated player in Gears. Not really. I mean, I think he was just joking, but I think Goobums is he's a streaky. He's not a streaky player. He's a player that's very hot or cold. Like I mean, I say streaky because I define him as a like player who's either on fire or like he's ice cold and like going dead last. I think it's pretty fair to say. There's also the one guy who says this is gonna be the best set ever after 1 PBE, but then changes his mind after 5 bottoms on the live server. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of players. You would actually be surprised, but a huge portion of players actually believe that the set is as good based on their results. So if they're like losing a lot, the set sucks, the patch sucks, awful. Who likes this game? Not me. And if they're finding success, they're doing really well with it. This patch feels more Exodia reliant than last patch to me. I don't think so. I think this patch is better than last patch. I think this patch is better than last patch. Last patch had way more like you hit Yone 3 and Riven 3, and there's almost not much you could do about it.
好像下一个版本就会有了。对，
应该是下一次更新就会有了。
没错。然后这边黑大师
They hit Twisted Fate 2 on their 4-2 roll down, and you couldn't really stop them from going to 9.
来秀一把了。
气很顺。
This patch feels better to me than last patch.
采菊的话，
Also,
跟这个新钢是
I really don't like the headliner buy sell thing. I thought about it a little bit more since yesterday. Yesterday I was saying like I don't know if I mind it in the game. The more I thought about it, I actually okay. So yesterday I couldn't sleep, and I dreamed about TFT. Yes, that is a thing. TFT consumes a lot of my free time in life, and so I dreamed about TFT, and I woke up because my cat wanted to get fed. And I couldn't go back to sleep, so I just started thinking a lot about TFT. And I thought a lot about the headliner thing, and I came to the conclusion that I really think the buy-sell stuff is, like, really not good. Actually, real quick, let's put a pause on that. This guy has Twin Terror. He's going to take Twin Terror and not play Executioners. Because I'm pretty sure Twin Terror is so good that if you take Twin Terror and force Executioners, you're putting yourself in a bad spot sometimes because... Like, it's really good for sure, but there's so many other things you can do that there's probably other lines that you're missing if you're just trying to force the same comp every single time. Anyways, I did a lot of thinking about TFT, and I came to the conclusion that I think that, one, I think the buy-sell mechanic is not good because of how tedious it is and how like unintuitive the game can feel. But then I also then came to the conclusion of just like I don't know if I like headliners that much. Like I feel like I really gave it a fair shot. I was very open-minded about it, and I was even ready to be like, you know, I'm like they found a way to improve it for set 10, right? Now you have all these different options and you don't have to like just gamble on which headline you hit. But I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm over it. I'm done. I think I'm over headliners in general as a mechanic. I'm okay with they never bringing back. I'm ready to ride it out on set 10. It's cool. Like I'll play it. It's fine. But like I'm just kind of over it at this point. Gave it a fair shot. I gave it a fair shot. It's not like the set isn't fun. I'm ready for something else, you know? I'm ready for something else. And also the tagline to it, I was talking about this with Milk, and because Milk was like, because remember everyone said that they wished Milk, not everyone, but a lot of people were saying they wished Milk still played the set. And Milk was like, I think that the problem with headliners that I have is that it like destroys a lot of fundamental aspects of the game. We talked about it, and I said, you know, I'm starting to think that you have some pretty good takes about TFT. Like not really, but kind of. And he hit me with the, huh? What do you mean? But he's kind of right. I feel like there's some fundamental aspects of TFT that headliners just feels like it is bypassing that kind of makes things feel like a little unsatisfying at times. What if headliners were in 2-star? More Dog has answered this like a handful of times at this point on stream, but basically they tried headlines without 1-stars and it felt really bad. It felt like you wouldn't buy it ever unless you had like a pair of it, basically. And chasing it felt like even worse. Is the short version of it. I think, and look, this is not to say that they haven't done their best with the mechanic. I think I think that it's still fun. Like set 10 is still really fun. I actually still enjoy it, and it's also given us the ability to pivot, right? It's like it's cool that we can play like super fan, flex, and like you roll down, play around a headliner. Like that kind of stuff is great. Like the good parts of headliners are great. You said that there's a lot of other things about it that comes with the mechanic that I'm like, I'm ready for set 11. And you know what the good news is? Set 11 is a month away. My God. Can you guys believe it? It's actually way closer than you guys think it is. It's like a month away. 4 Heartsteel wins this? Oh my God. That's such a good loss. That's such a good loss. Why do you think people love Chosen and are not liking headliners that much? I think people love set 4 because they remember what they loved about the sets, and they don't remember the baggage that comes with some of the chosen mechanic. And that applies to everything. People love, like for example, people love 3.5. And 3.5 is up on the current live servers right now. And I just gotta say, man, playing 3.5 reminded me that TFT's come a really long way. Why is every champion in 3.5 an AP champion? Like, why? Every champion is an AP in 3.5. There's like, it's just crazy. Like, why? I mean, because that's just the way it was back then. We thought about AP and AP very differently. I totally forgot that aspect of the game. And it's not that like it's not that things aren't fun or it's a good set. It's just like we remembered the good parts. We don't remember the bad parts. And that is the crux of addiction. we choose to selectively remember the good parts and we just forget about the bad parts. Oh, what's the portal for this game? Actually, I don't remember. That's a good point. Sorry, I forgot to update that. I'm too busy reminiscing about TFT. We had a prismatic star. Okay, actually, I can hide the overlay. Can you guys see it? The overlay. Let me hide that. And can anybody read that? How soon is Worlds after regionals? Like 2 weeks. Legends or headliners? Which are you picking? Oh, headliners. I don't like. Actually, I think legends have better design space potential than headliners, in my opinion, in terms of like what legends can be. Maybe that's a hot take, but I think the potential of legends are way better than headliners. I think headliners we've kind of maxed out of what we got. Okay, is no one gonna tell me? Okay, I'm just gonna put the overlay back up then. Prismatic Symphony. Are you just guessing, man? If so, it's a pretty good guess. We start off with Prismatic. I feel like you're just guessing. He watches it. Yeah, sorry. So people in my YouTube chat, I answer YouTube every now and then, but it's just Twitch chat is a lot more active. But I actually do answer both. I do answer YouTube and Twitch chat. The thing about Legends is that they could do a lot more with Legends that are less. There's a lot more design space for Legends, in my opinion. It doesn't have to even be augment related, but it can be. But there's a lot of different things that Legends can do. The design space of Legends is that you before the game you have a passive effect that's going to alter your game experience. That's what Legends is. That's a lot of different things you can do. March of Progress. I mean, this is open-ended. He has slammed no items whatsoever, so you can actually play like whatever he wants. This looks like AP though. I would probably think about an AP reroll at this point, but he can go like Titans BT, but he's stuck with Tier Rod, which is kind of awkward. If you go Titans BT, then you feel like you have to make an AP item. And if you want to go for Titans BT, it's basically like Yone or I don't know, like maybe like Jax or something like that. But you're not really trying to look for Jax. Jax reroll is kind of dependent on things like Submit to the Pit, I think, right now. You really want like a specific augment that enables him, not as opposed to like playing him generically from Econ. 19 out of 20. Roll the dice. Raise the stakes. Spoils of War 3. Whoa, this guy. Oh, this guy is cooking. Do you think headliners were better or dragons? Headliners. Dragons said, click on me, and you can't, and then you can't play the other half of the units in the set. Set 7 was like you clicked a dragon and you weren't allowed to click other things because it's just incompatible with it. You just weren't allowed to click other dragons, and when you clicked the dragon, you had to just build more of it because you had 3 of that trait. So you had Jade, you got to play more Jade. You hit Shimmer Scale, you want to play more Shimmer Scale, things like that. And it was so economically restrictive as well. It was not very good. I did not enjoy Set 7. I think Set 7 was it's kind of embarrassing to admit it, but I have one time full raged at TFT where I got mad and I hit my door very loudly because I was like so mad at the game. And it was from Set 7. It only happened one time, and it's from Set 7. I legitimately got nerded, like mad at the game. But it's like it's never happened since because we've learned a lot since that. But it happened in Set 7. I was mad.
对啊，原本还想嘴他2句的，主播把自己装备闪电挡住是怎样？对嘛？因为看不到水滴旁边是什么。
It's the worst set, which is why Soju could make worlds, dude. Oh, come on, Tim. You can't do that. Okay, Kale Headliner is actually pretty good. But he's trying to raise the stakes. So he's trying not to... Oh my god, he's trying to grief! He's trying to grief raise the stakes! Oh my god, he's selling! Oh! He's matched up against him, the Spoils of War player! Oh my god, it's Griefer versus Griefer. It's Griefer versus Griefer. Both the raise the stakes Heartsteel players. Who's gonna win? Okay, it's gotta be the 2-star Cassante player, right? 2-star Cassante player's gotta win. Wait, but there's 3 people live? 2? Nah. Oh my god, he gives him the perfect loss. He gives him the perfect loss. Unless? Is there like a combat augment? Oh, he has vampirism. Wait a second. Who wins? Oh my god, there's no way. The 1-star Cassante wins? Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god. That hurts. That one stings. Oh my god, that happened. Did Black Big Big win or lose? Is Black Big Big happy or sad? I can't tell. That one, because the legends were right next to each other. The legends were next. He lost and kept. Okay, perfect play. He actually sold one of his units. Right? So like that was actually the def. Amazing. And he got the blacksmith gloves. That is nice. Well played, my friend. Well played. I like that he's here watching himself and complimenting himself. He types in chat, "I play so good." He's here watching the VOD of me watching it and just saying, "Man, I play so good." Okay, 5 pentakill. So what I talked about at the beginning of the day, I think Kale is going to be more common in lobbies. I think Kale's in so many lobbies. Today, I think when I play games, because I think I want to do some snapshot watch party as well. I might play a few games and then do a snapshot watch party. I want to play some Kale if I can. Okay, I need to get some water. I think I'm out of water. Getting a little dehydrated. Best users of blacksmith gloves. Make sure whoever can use it likes having either the ability to convert off of mana or AP pretty well. But in general, I think it's good to put it on utility melee units or utility AP units. So a good example could be like if you're playing executioners and you have itemized Twitch or smear, like if you're playing country, I think Vex can hold it really well. and is a really good example of one. Or Thresh in that example can also hold it decently because if he gets things like Diamond Hands and Mana Zane, things like that can be pretty decent. I also think it's really good on Kayn. I think Kayn is very good because you can give him like Death Defiance or Zonias or Deathfire Grasp. Like Kayn is actually really good with it. Those are like some examples of like who could be good with it. But in general, it can be a pretty awkward item. I'm not gonna lie. It can be pretty awkward. Poppy, yep, Poppy uses every stat in the game, so I think Poppy is also good. That's another shout out. Rolling for... We're rolling at level 7. Looks like we want to go Lulu reroll because we have Shojin. Oh, the things we put on an Ari. Whoa, she hits Ari 2 on 7? Okay, in that case, I would just transition to Ari. Oh, he's playing March of... Or she's playing March of Progress. She's playing March of Progress. Seraphine. Lulu? You gotta buy that. She's playing Lulu with no items. She has another Ari. Probably red buff because she has no anti-heal, but she has 2 swords. That's gonna be really awkward. Okay, Echo frontline. Items are actually so awkward. Position, we need position. Okay. Hyperpop Lulu is really good. GGS. Hologram. Hologram would be actually the nuts. Okay, I don't think this Spoils of War Raise the Stakes player is going to do very well this game. Louise. Okay, we got gold. Portable Forge. Oh, I actually like Hull Crusher here. I think we need frontline. I think frontline is like a big issue here. Turtle Winter. Okay, same concept. Same concept. Just like take something frontline item. Twin Terror into Executioners. Double GS, but the thing is, you kind of want to make sure you can keep something like the bow open for red buff or Nashers. Nashers apparently is bugged on Lulu though. Beware. We're not bugged, but like it locks her out of mana. I'm not sure if it's bugged, but it's like it doesn't interact with her mana very well. They're playing Kale for Shred. Who is the Lulu player? Okay, it's not a bug. It's intended mana lock. Okay, yeah. Just something to think about. Spoils of War. I feel like Soju can be good when he wants to. Him in tournaments way different from him on ladder. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay, cash out. Redemption and Mana Zane. How good is Mana Zane on Caitlyn? The raw placement of it is probably bad, but in terms of the delta... Oh, it's quite bad. It is quite bad. Her best Ornn items are Sniper's Focus and Infinity Force. And then Gap, Gold Collector, then Gap, then Mana Zane. So it's 2 gaps behind. 2 gaps behind. I mean, Sniper's Focus makes sense because she targets the farthest units. And Infinity Force is just raw stats, which is good. Like, generically good. But, yeah, that's not very promising. Ouch. Hard 8th. Louis got grief by BBB. Is Mana Zane Jhin good? Oh, no, Mana Zane Jhin is really good. I was just asking out loud. How good is Mana Zane on Caitlyn? Mana Zane Jhin? Actually, I think Mana Zane is Jin's best item, period. Like, in the game. I don't think there's a better item for him, actually. Maybe like Radiant Blue Buff? Like, what is the best item? Okay, emo emblem. Emo emblem is actually the best item on him.
要去抉择那个主秀的抽牌是根据你有什么样的英雄，然后去决定你要抽什么样的主秀，又或者是说你有什么样的装备去决定抽。
I can see that.
他就是
Emo spat Jin is Biss.
对对对，
还要看装备。
要很平均的。
Pentakill Nico 3. Wow, that's actually really tanky. She has immense amount of tankiness now.
就有点太软了。
啊，这个为什么？
Hit Nico 3 before Kale 3.
这哦，而且还
Small question for Kale. Do you think building another Rage Blade or Superfan Kale beforehand plus Gunblade is stronger? Or do you think GS Gunblade plus Superfan? I actually like double Rage Blade more the more I see it.
新凯尔
I had an option to play double Rage Blade when I was playing Kale the other day, and I chose to go for Archangels.
这个有技
I think I would prefer double Rage Blade now. Late game, you can probably choose to ditch Superfan entirely, assuming you're not playing something like Nigo 3. You can choose to ditch it and then go for another item, because in reality, Kale late game, like stage 6 onwards, is not like
这个你可
she's only a piece of the puzzle. She's not like the primary and only carry. You can have KO 3 and Karthus 2 and Viego 2 and Yorick 2 all contributing, and just like the sum of the parts is
有的
just
时候
enough.
双鬼手会触发，就是有可能是显示的 bug， 有可能是
2 pentakill emblems. Wait, he got it off of a tome again? Oh gosh.
哦这边，
This person got two pentakills off of two tomes.
而且还是
Oh my
最好
gosh.
的医者，大人物的医者。哦，他这边不会要5杠吧？我觉得是不太可能。他这蓝 B 在
要先把
好日子。
装备
I mean, it just sounds like a skill issue. He just sounds like he's better. You shouldn't get too upset about it. You just get good.
对位来不及了
他。直接给精进了。
As we say in North America, skill issue.
就他要2件启动。
我觉得应该要倒过来，就是他这个蓝 B 应该要给医者，然后那个精进给进，会比较好一点。
OK，
但也没有关系。
Trina Winter is kind of doing some
问
work,
题不大。
slowing things down a lot. She has 5 Aries.
这个过大宝石
I think Ari is very underrated right now.
对面的
I feel like I played an Ari line yesterday, and people are like, "Are you trolling, man? What are you doing?" I was like, "What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm playing Ari. Ari's good."
7度
对啊，7等阿里3星，
是，然后兔子长现在
想都不敢想。
8等了。现在的进化论就是比较
After this head, pool sizes are gonna change. Yeah. They specifically changed the pool sizes because of
之
headliner.
前还更有机会，之前基本
The mechanic has like warped a lot of like the rest of TFT because of the way it interacts with like 3-starring and stuff like that.
不知道看他这一把有没有机会阿里。
It's not like they didn't do their best with headliners, and headliners thematically, make sense. They made it work into the theme. I'm not. Wow, a spat, Heartsteel emblem, a second Heartsteel emblem.
话7杠了。
Oh.
哎呦，
I'm not gonna be as ridiculous to suggest that set 10 was like bad or like a failure or whatever. I think set 10 has been a magnificent set so far. I just think that like I'm just talking about the mechanic itself.
给露露第3
I thought about it, and the mechanic itself, headliners, I'm over it.
对啊。
I'm okay with it never coming back.
啊，他竟然和
哦，
点
他还
到。
没有那个，他还没有破。
Set 10 has been very fun.
虽然说有西格斯
也
啊，
是
Way more replayable than set 5, 7, 8,
但是他
and
3流
probably 9.5.
那个
3超
上
流行
限开的超高的，因为你抽到那个2超流行，它就是2倍的一个回魔量。然后
I will say that the potential of set 10 was
它的一个攻速。
like one of the best sets ever.
也没事，最后喝，哎，
哎，亲他一下。
哦，原本要想说，
The ceiling of the set is really high.
就是比较正确的
I really like the
表达
the bare bones of the set. The bare bones of the set is like amazing of set 10. Like if you really think about it.
就是换怪
The
能力
designs, the way like the theme flows together, the production value, and the way headliners can enable fluidity to gameplay, which I really enjoy, but also some really hype moments of like, like having this headliner that scales. Like who doesn't love like, Bard or Set or Mordecai or some of these like crazy power fantasies? They've done a really good job over it. Like overall, the set's great.
它这里还
DFG Z2.
英雄复制器还没用，但它的阵容成型度非常的完整。
就差
You prefer set 9 over set 10?
这个
Set 9.0.
它这个
Legends really made set 9 have a big damper in my spirits. I know that some people love Legends, but like the whole like Twisted Fate patch and then the Draven patch and then set 9.5 was Earth and other stuff like that. But 9.0 at one point had a good meta where Poro was the best and that was good. So set 9.0 had stretches that were like really really good. Definitely one of the good parts of set 9 were really good. The good parts of set 9 was very 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 good. Probably like top 3 sets in my opinion. Good parts of set 9. Manazane Jin. 2-star Ezreal. This is a really good board. Little buddies as well. So we're playing. What's our little buddies value? We have 1 little buddy. Well, that's not ideal. We're just kind of our gold augment is we're getting like minimal value off of it. Okay. Oh man, so close. Wow. We're looking for Jin 2. I think if I'm shooter DD, I'm still tempted to get a little bit of little buddy's value. Like Bard, for example, is little buddy's value. You can do that. IMO set 4.5 and 10 are the best sets. I think Headliner should be part of TFT forever. Set 9 was unplayable for me. We'll see. There you go. Some people like have completely different takes that I don't agree with, but you're allowed to have your own preferences. I think if Headliners are part of TFT forever, I think that is a bad thing. I strongly disagree with Headliners being a forever mechanic in TFT. I don't think it promote. I think it promotes increasingly degenerative gameplay, not because of not necessarily even because of like the mechanic itself, but because of the way people optimize TFT. If you're like, well, you know, I think it's like perfect for like the platinum to diamond range where like I can have fun and do all those different things and like I feel like it's great, then that's fine. But like I think as you start to climb to like masters and above, I think it becomes increasingly more degenerate in terms of the way people optimize the game. Oh man, this is actually really close. Third place, 15 HP, 15, 14, 5, 3. There's so many Hearthstone players this game. Cash that again. Thresh 2. Wow, I think this guy might win the game. If he doesn't get taken down now, he's probably gonna win the game because he's just continued to get stronger and stronger, and now he's at a tipping point. I mean, for people who like completely hate the headliner mechanics, period, I think you're being incredibly unfair because you're like refusing to see any good aspects of it. You're like saying like there's nothing good about headliners whatsoever. I think you're also wrong. Like I think you're also objectively wrong, but that's my subjective opinion. Hard for me to take that seriously. This guy's 10 pentakill again. 10 pentakill with Kale too. He just hits 2 emblems. Says screw it, I'm going 9 and just hits 10 pentakill. With 2-star card, this 2-star Akali. Disbelief. I dead. Yeah, I see that, man. You're not it doesn't look like you have the ability to take down 10 pentakill with Nico 3. Wow, I put 10 pentakills on my board. I guess I won. So boring. You know, believe it or not, I would say that the vast majority of TFT players, like the vast majority of TFT players, disagree with you. They actually love that about TFT. To them, they get 10 pentakill like twice a set. And they're like, man, finally, I get to see what 10 pentakill does. And then they win the game. And for them, it's a really good thing. Because then they get to like text their buddy, like, hey, Billy, guess what? You'll never believe it. I just hit 10 pentakill and I won the game. LMAO. sobbing emoji, right? And they type it, and the guy's like, dude, ain't no way. This game is terrible. Skull emoji, right? Like that's like what they do. And they want those moments because I'm just gonna be real with you, man. Nobody's gonna be out here listening to be like, dude, guess what? I played a 3 KDA, 2 Chew damage, 2 Sentinel, 2 Bruiser, 2 Jazz, 2 Bruiser, 3 Super Fan board. Can you believe it? And people are just like, I guess. Like, no, who like you're not texting anybody that. Man, that was so cool. Like, you guys are fundamentally missing a lot of like what this is supposed to do, and I understand hyper engaged players don't want that, like, because they're like, well, the game's just over because I hit 10 pentakill, right? But like, you have to remember that like there's elements of the game that needs to get people hooked on TFT. You're like complaining that you're like saying like, man, the highs of this illicit psychedelic is not hitting anymore, and you're like mad about it, and it's like, well, you kind of forgot the most important thing. TFT needs to still
Man, I'm
be
getting
addictive.
more dogged again.
Glorp.
Blueberry, thank you for the 2 months. 5 I mean, is this board actually? No, I can't. Never mind. I thought it potentially won a few fights. So this is gonna bleed out to like a second maybe. This is purely matchmaking of who he goes up against, whether or not he's able to actually queue into the ghost of the 10 pentakill. Unless I'm missing something, and 10 pentakill actually doesn't work on ghost board, which would actually be kind of funny, but I don't think that's the case. Why does Frodan say the most basic knowledge in such a condescending way? You think this is basic knowledge? Tune into any other TFT streamer and try to reason with them. Don't even necessarily be very confrontational about it. Just try to be reasonable with them. Be like, well, what if you considered a different perspective than your own? Like, do it. I tell you. Is Setsuko online? Is Soju streaming? No, he's elo sitting. I mean, okay, Wage and Iverson's pretty reasonable. Just go to some of these streamers and try to do it, man. Like, you think I'm trying to be condescending about it? Is because I have to listen to people who have such a narrow, myopic view of their own world and perspective on game design. A product that should be on a product that's enjoyed by millions of people, but it should be catered to the 200 people in their country, not even in the world, but like the 200 people that's sharing the same entire geographical location as them. You're telling that like it has to be entirely warped to their experience, and if not, it means that the person that has serviced millions of people is incompetent and lazy and terrible at their job and should be fired. Like, that's the people that we have to deal with on a daily basis, and they get paid thousands of dollars per day to act like this. So yeah, I can be a little condescending at times. You're not wrong, but I'm also not wrong. Anyways, I mean, that's not to say that TFT is perfect, right? Like, I might sound like I'm like being apologist for Riot, but I just actually criticized them. I actually said I don't like headliners. I just talked about why Set 7 was terrible, and I raged about it, like stuff like that. I feel like I'm pretty fair. I don't feel like I'm a person that's like always like, well, Riot's always right. I feel like I call them out sometimes. Sorry, I'm also not talking about the game anymore because 10 Pentakill won. I hope that I don't feel like you guys are expecting me to add more commentary. 10 Pentakill won the game. Because speaking of like things that are kind of ridiculous, like, he got Tome off of PvE and he hit 10 Pentakill and he won the game. You were awesome, thank you. So what you're saying is you're just a Riot Glazer. Yeah, that's a pretty good summary. Like, you know me, man, big time Riot Glazer. All right, so what did we learn? We learned that 10 Pentakill is very good. We also learned that what was it? This Twin Terror board. Actually, never mind. We already kind of knew that. But I actually think that Twin Terror is a really underexplored augment for the most part. I think Twin Terror in general, like people are just like kind of focusing too much on executioners. I really wanted to see Twin Terror like reroll of some other kind besides executioners. Yesterday we saw reroll Twin Terror Olaf, and it was pretty cool. Also, I want to see Twin Terror Lulu because I think that's really good too.
Oh, it's top lane. These walls are different.
Was this competitive at all? Oh yeah, for second to 8th place. It was competitive for second to 8th place, not really for first. But if you're if that ruins your ability to enjoy the game, then that's I think a personal thing. Like I still find it okay and interesting. Like some people don't really want to load into the game feeling they have to play for second because someone got dropped a tome, and obviously there's nuance to it, right? There's like degrees of like what's acceptable. Getting dropped like 10 gold from a golden orb is much more reasonable than like a tome of traits. It's not even equivalent, right? You get gold off of Heartsteel for like 60 hearts. But for 200 hearts, something you have to like sack way more for, you get a tome, right? Even the game measures itself not equivocally. So like you're entirely right. Like tome is stupid. It's bullshit. They shouldn't be part of PV rounds. They're working on it though. It's funny because it sounds very simple. Like, shouldn't you just be able to remove tome from PvE? Like, just remove it. Like, can't you just go to? Isn't it just like delete a line of code and like change it? The thing is, I don't know what actually is the process for that. But Riot has insisted several times that they're going to reevaluate the entire system. I think part of the reason why is because it's part of a change of a bigger thing that they're trying to redesign, and which is I think PV random orbs in general. Oh, by the way, I'm only using like people like Soju as an example because it's easy and they're my friends, right? Like I don't want to make it sound like I don't like these people. These people are some of my closest friends in the entire scene. So it makes me feel it feels easier to like call them out, right? I'm not trying to polarize and say like, hey, it's you guys are like fans of me or you're like fans of like them. Like they're actually some of my closest friends. Like look at Milk. Milk's almost diametrically opposed to the way I view things in terms of like TFT. But like he wants only to cater to the hardcore players. He like Milk actually has said on record multiple times like fuck the casuals. Like I don't care about them. And I'm like, I care about the masses in general because I want a healthy player base. And so like these are some, but like he's also one of my closest friends in the entire scene. And so I hope the takeaway isn't that like I'm flaming these other people. I'm just saying like I'm using them as easy examples because they're my close friends and I like them a lot and I hang out with them and I think highly of them. I wouldn't spend time chilling with them if I didn't actually enjoy hanging out with like all those people I mentioned. I don't want you guys to have the impression that otherwise. Alright, let's go into game number 5. Can someone who can read tell me what this portal is? Last game we didn't have any clue. I think it was Prismatic Start. I think it was Prismatic Augment Start because we didn't have any other clues indicating otherwise. Oh wait, I didn't get water during this ad break, so I was too busy explaining. Is this gold? Gold related augment? Board's kind of cool. Golden Prelude. Thank you so much. Also, I'm gonna go get water real quick because I've been yapping a lot. So. You guys heard the equivalent of Frodan Yap. The Frodan Yap is to yap about yappers. That's correct. That's my brand.
记这么久，对，
可以，我觉得可以发泄啦，但是不要往心里去。
不要往心里去，
对，
没错。
要骂当然都可以啊。
下一把都是遇得到，哦，不是啊。
你要人家不骂，我觉得也很难啦，但是不要往心里去，不要结仇比较重要。
没错。
好，那这一把第5轮，我们看到场地是荆棘序曲。这个相对也是比较
和善一点的。
对，就是对于观众来讲，可能会觉得小无聊，但是说实话，比赛的话，选手应该
，I bet。
没有，应该我想说的是，比赛的话，就是选手还是会上下限不要那么大的场地，
了解，
对，尽量不要去可能会别人突然看。
Yeah, the portal is golden prelude. It's gonna be the first augment is gonna be gold. Also, I saw that the Lions were winning versus the Niners. Someone asked me earlier, who do I have? I just think it's funny that the Lions are actually winning football games again. And also, I saw their behind-the-scenes footage of the coach who's like crying because he's so emotional over what's happening. It's actually so funny, man. Dudes are so funny. Like alpha dudes are so funny. It's just like this big, strong, 240, like 6'3" head coach guy. I don't actually know if that's true, but like he just looks big to me. And he's just like screaming like, do you guys know? Do you fellas know what you just did? And he's just screaming at them in the locker room after. He's like, do you guys know what we just did? And we're like, hell yeah, that's what we just did. And they're just, it's just funny to me, man. It's also like precious because it's like a very emotional moment for them because obviously like the franchise sucks and they haven't won so long, but it's just funny to me. I don't know. All right, we got Idealism. Yasuo reroll. Lucky Streak. What do you guys like to play Gambler's Blade into these days? Does anybody have any tech? If you start off with Gambler's Blade, what are you looking for? I know some people like to play Gambler's Blade into Jinx, for example. They like to do like Gambler's Blade and Rage Blade on Jinx. Karthus, I can see it. Ari. Disco. Really, guys? You know what? More power to you. People who are able to hold the fort down and say, you know what? I'm gonna play disco anyways. You have my respect. In fact, I respect you so much. Please add me as a friend so I can queue up at the same time as you. That's how much I respect you. BT Twisted Fate. I saw one time that BT was actually pretty good on Twisted Fate because it gives AP and it helps him survive some matches, but that was last patch. Wasn't that last patch? Not this patch. The BT Twisted Fate CN deck. Titans BT Twisted Fate. My god. He has a lot. Is every card damage instance where you like throws out a bunch of cards, does that stack Titans? I don't know. I've never slammed Titans on Twisted Fate. That'd be super funny if it did. I just started playing TFT for the first time this set. Managed to reach Plat 4 so far. The biggest challenge for me is now learning how to manage econ based on the build I'm going. Good. You're well on your way to climbing to Emerald. TFT is about like learning one of these big major skill sets at a time, in my opinion. There's 5 like major macro categories of skill sets in TFT, or like 5 big categories of skill set. But even within each major skill, there's like different small things that you can also fine tune. And it's cool because in TFT, in my opinion, no one's good at everything. Or if they are good at everything, it's like they still have weaknesses. Because there's almost like trade-offs to everything in TFT, so it's like there's no like perfect player. Contrary to what my counterpart My fellow TFT analyst, Bryce Blum, would lead you to believe there's no perfect player.
确实确实，
没错，
Not even close.
这部分是选了一个赌徒之刃哦，
Heartthrobs, huh?
这里
Someone took Heartthrobs?
有辅助装，然后手套，两家赌徒之刃，然后还有一个是2。
但是我觉得现在好运连连给的那个赌徒之刃其实打的经济量并没有以前那么多，就是
That would be sick. Gargantua resolves, double Titans, Twisted Fate. I mean, that actually would be kind of cool. If they made Twisted Fate interact with Titans, and then
机制
he just becomes this giant ass, like, huge mech-like creature in the back, just throwing cards, like, like the cards are the size of, like, the 1-star units.
可以有一个定的经
That'd be kind of hype, actually.
没错，然后最好就是还有一个基因克斯嘛，然后再一个
是是是
龟缩，
有一个宿
疯狂
舍，
打钱，
让他这个比较有机会去频繁的攻击哦。
确实是。这边可以看到这个欧拉夫非常的顶级，
错，对面
What are your 5 categories?
狂砍猛砍。
The 5 categories I break it down is macro planning, which is like your ability to see the game overarching, like what lines are good, your meta reads. And macro is like a huge part of TFT. Like if I'd probably say it's like half of your results.
26，直接
There's micro aspects of the things how you position, how you roll downs, things like all the granular things of how you're doing sequencing and all the other things like that.
现在要等的是
There's and then the third is vision, like how I call it vision, but it's really like a combination of how you're scouting and your observations of like what's going on in your lobby, kind of like your game awareness.
哎这么
Another way you can describe it, like your TFT like IQ, how you're figuring out like what's going on and how you're reading things as the game is flowing. Then there's adaptation as another major category, which is like a
这个
really hard thing to also describe. It's like another, it's actually kind of related to game awareness, but it's something, maybe in fact I should combine those two. So maybe it's 4 major categories. Game awareness. And then, which is a thing people lack a lot. And then the last one is a major skill set, but not actually that important, which is creativity. Creativity and adaptation is like it's a skill set that people can work on, but it's the one that provides the least amount of results.
抓到一个新钢的主秀，
But it's a skill set nonetheless.
洗卡粉，哦，这边超粉过渡，看起来是很舒服。然后赌徒之刃
是不
应该
错
多少有掉一点钱啊，因为这边还有是5等
应该
30
多
块，
多少少
多多少
干
应该还是有掉
应
一些
该没多。
Shurko, who's streaming TFT right now,
没有任何公司
literally played TF Gargantuan Resolve BT like 30 minutes ago. He was rolling for Viego but didn't hit. Just so funny that you're talking about it now. Oh, yeah? My brother Man's playing some Twisted Fate Titans BT.
2败2胜都是没有给1块钱的，
Was it
就觉
insane?
得有点穷，所以前期拿这种经济类的算是一个补偿啊，就可以把你的经济给补起来。之后
2
你再
gloves, so we can
看
go
有点说不过去
steadfast.
现在
偏穷
的版本很难是，
Reading. Yeah, you know what? Another major skill should be reading.
就通常都是
对，
一经济2战力这样子去选，
所以亚速抽的有点少，要再
还有
抽
50。块，为什么欧拉？
I should probably update that. That 5 major skill thing was something I thought I kind of defined like a couple of years ago. It's probably down to 4 major categories now because I think that whole like the whole like scouting vision is all part of game awareness,
是不是
kind of like your TFT IQ.
摘星从数学上来算的话，也
How good are like some of your fundamental understandings of like the game and how it works and interacts, stuff like that.
加精神
这边
And that kind of encompasses like your ability to adapt on the fly because you're kind of like reacting to things. So, and reading would probably go under that. Your TFT IQ. How much are you actually reading things? Yeah.
6连败，112成万人民。
有诶，现在万人米的话，之前是会储存20%。
Okay, so we rolled and we have 8 Yasuos.
额外的20%的奖励，所以
Usually the mathematical play is to roll until like 30 something,
就比较不会了。
but to go to 40 means that he wants to focus a little bit more on economy. Oh, maybe he's playing for the augment. Because he knows that he can get Yasuo off of an augment. I see. He actually played around the not chasing the Yasuo 3 because he knew that there's a possibility to get blinged out.
有办法找到吗？
And he hits it anyways on 5. Nice.
三星的，
其实还行。
Overwhelming
是
force.
他这个死刃。
Okay, what do you guys think about double IE Yasuo? Is that a meme? Like, you can remove it with Superfan later. Double IE Yasuo now and then remove it later.
最强嘛，然后先
What do you guys
去
think?
打低别人的
Or misconnections. Yeah, it's a good call out. Misconnections is also a possibility. I mean, you're trying to play whatever's strong right now. Would you rather go Deathblade on him? Get the flat stats. Shojin. Oh, he has Twin Terror. So he's trying to go into Vex now. Double mana items. It's not looking very strong, though. I've been seeing double IE quite a bit. Is it good? Yeah, I think double Infinity Edge is actually quite good on some of these AD champions. I mean, everyone knew that it was good on Samira for a couple months now. But I think people are trying to play on Ezreal now, and they think it's very good on Ezreal. Heartsteel Yone. I need Darth Noob. Yeah, Darth Noob is really good about it. So 5 Heartsteel Yone 2. And he's at 55 HP though. Oh, he raised the stakes. Heartthrobs, Tiniest Titans raised the stakes. Oh my gosh. Okay, if he can... How many turns away is he? If he can get to stage 5 with like 25 to 30 and HP and then like heal back to like 3 lives, I think he's in an amazing spot. I recently hit diamond and found myself stuck. Are there any specific skills that you notice that are separate high ranks from diamonds? Yeah, I think diamond players in general tunnel a lot because they played certain things that were successful to get them to diamond, and they're not able to actually see things outside of their current view. Like a lot of times, I was gonna say purview, but that's not even a correct word. So they say, okay, like this is what I look at, and I'm probably gonna be like playing this carry on this champion and like this augment, whatever. It's either that or they're too open-minded. Like it's like one or the other. They either tunnel vision, or they get overwhelmed by like all the different possibilities and they kind of get lost in the sauce and they lose track of a bunch of stuff. So it's usually one or the other. You have to find a way to kind of dial in and calibrate. Double raise the stakes. There's 2 people playing raise the stakes. What the Forge on 3-5? Manazane Sniper's Focus? Wait a second. Is that as insane as it sounds on Jhin? No, I think Jhin actually would rather have Infinity Force than Sniper's Focus. Because Sniper's Focus, Jhin needs to sometimes shoot things like right in front of him. Sniper's Focus is a lot better on Ezreal because he always keeps his distance. Maybe Manazane Sniper's Focus Ezreal. I can see that. I can see that. Clear in mind what the Forge. That's a pretty tricky line. A lot of things can go wrong with this comp. Agreed. I made masters after tunneling a bit more. Yeah, exactly. So if you're a player that's like too wide and too loose is the way I like to describe it. You're like thinking like, oh, like, you know, you get distracted by things in the shop. Like, wow, you know, I have this Gnar here. Could I like buy this Gnar and like think about like the pentakills? Like, you know, you probably get distracted by kind of stuff. You need to tighten up your play. And then other people who are like, okay, like I have a single Shojin. It has to be Karthus. It's always Karthus from here. Stuff like that. Like they also suffer. So it's like usually a range of players that have that kind of struggle. But to be fair, Masters players sometimes have that problem too. But you know, it's all relative because Diamond also could be different. Could be dependent on the server you play on, right? So some servers like Diamond is really like a lot more competitive than others, just based on population size. It's not even like it's not even a diss. It's just like some servers is just easier. And so, but if you're playing like Diamond in a high population server, it can be pretty tricky. Twin Terror, we're getting ready for the big roll down. Thank you, Mr. Frodan, for tightening me up. I didn't even need to use the beads. No problem, man. No problem. Remember one thing about climbing, especially as you're going through Diamond and trying to get to Masters. There's one thing you have to remember above everything else. Minimize the number of bottom finishes. More important than whether or not you're getting 4th, 3rd versus 2nd, and 1st. If every time you queue up, the worst placement you're going to go is 5th or 6th, that means that you're already in a pretty good spot to climb, because that means you're going to minimize losses a lot. It's about both. It's about maximizing your placements and minimizing your bottom finishes. So consistency is more important. That's what makes tournaments kind of exciting, though, because anybody can run a hot hand and do well with it. But what makes the circuits, the TFT competitive landscape interesting, in my opinion, is who is the most consistent over time. When we did podcasts, was it last week or the week before? I actually noticed a stat that said Suko has, in his past 12 tournaments since a year ago, has top 8'd, I think, 8 of them. Only 3 of them he did not, but in those 3 he didn't. He still got top 16, which is incredible consistency. His worst placement was like 14th. And then the one tournament that didn't happen was the Vegas Open, which is like a complete crapshoot, right? It's like the World Series of Poker. Like, you can't ever really think you're going to hit top 16 reasonably in that tournament. If you hit top 32, that's like probably good enough for like a really good result. So his consistency is phenomenal in the past year. It's something that's like newsworthy in my opinion. But you know, some people like, but at the same time, tournaments are exciting because anybody can like play a streak of hot hands, right, and then like find a way to spike it to a tournament win, and that's what makes it really interesting because anyone can win. All right, so we're rolling down. We're looking for... He picked KDA Ari. I think 7 KDA Ari is actually really good. The awkward thing is that you just have to play around Death Cap. But today, I actually played around double Ari as my carries. I played 2 Ari2s. And I played Spellweavers instead because I had Spellweaver Ari. And that was also pretty reasonable. And I hit Ari3 because everyone was pulling out the 4 costs. So... Ari is still fine as a headliner with Superfan. You just have to recognize that she's not gonna have like the optimal like setup with like blue buff Nashers and gunplay stuff like that. Louis, thank you for the prime. Sorry I didn't acknowledge that immediately. Thanks for supporting the channel, man. Appreciate the prime. Oh gosh, 602. 602. What do you even get at 600? Cash. 762. And Radiant TG and a Fawn. Wow, that's really big. You got 2 prismatic augments. 25 gold in legendaries. Oh, dude, if he rolls and hits like a Kane 2 out of nowhere. Hold on. Roll. 6 HP, man. He's looking for his headliner. Big shot Ezreal? Double Ezreal? Just cut like any unit. Like cut this 1-star. He frontline is Ezreal. Oh, he actually needs this for the crowd diver. Even shout Yorick. I don't know if I like that very much. I want on the Thresh. He's much more likely to survive. It's a Yasuo 3. Oh no, 6 HP. Dude. Wait. Oh, it's so close. Oh man. I actually think it might have been Even Shroud on the Thresh and then position Ezreal just a little bit further back. I think it might have been. He just froze a little bit too much, man. That's so close. Oh, dude, he could have won out. How are their items so bad? I'm not entirely sure. He ended up having to Radiant TG the Ezreal, but... Whoa, look at this. Twin Terror, expose weakness. This guy win the game? Is Yasuo still good? Yeah. Yasuo is solidly an A tier. You don't play him unless you have the good start for him, but he has really good peaks. Also, you have the benefit of true damage being another out if you're playing like those crazy portals and stuff like that. Like if you play Yasuo reroll, you never like no one's gonna take your true damage emblem off carousels anymore. On like stage 5, stage 6, if you somehow get true damage emblems, you can always play for those kinds of outs. You'd be surprised how often you can actually hit it because it's like that one patch where we had true damage and everyone always picked up true damage off carousel. That's still true, except this time no one's actually going for it. And so you'd be surprised how often you end up getting those like for free. The downside is it's really hard to hit things like a Kali if you're trying to go for 6 true damage. And then the other aspect of it is you often want to play Viego as part of your pentakill edgelord core because you want to have true damage plus pentakill, and Viego is a really contested unit. So your 4 cost that you're often spiking with on stage 4 can be really difficult to hit if you're trying to play Yasuo.
Man, I'm getting more
I
dogged
think it's the
again.
one thing that's holding it back. Ram Kev. Thank you, Kev. Hope you had a good stream, man. And Ziggy, thank you for the prime. Scrappy's not banned in this tournament. Yeah. Did you guys know that apparently Scrappy Conventions is responsible for 25% of this day's tournament wins? Clement DM'd me and said, dude, are they going to like hotfix this or anything like that? Apparently, he said, because Scrappy Conventions won 25% of tournament games. As in like 25% of the wins were people who picked Scrappy Conventions. And as far as I know, there is currently no plans for a B patch. And so if it were to go through, or rather if nothing happens, then tournaments should consider banning it. The thing is, it's going to be fixed next patch. And is it like a big enough thing that is this singular thing big enough to warrant a B patch? Because is the rest of the patch like bad enough that it requires a B patch? Probably not. The patch is actually pretty okay. Like it's fine. Patch is like decent. Someone even say that the patch is solid. So kind of hard for Rise to be like, well, for Scrappy Inventions, we'll B patch it. Heartsteel, yeah, I think Heartsteel and the Ezreal stuff could probably get toned down a little bit. I don't know the actual technicals of it though. Ziggy, did I thank you for the prime? Sorry, my brain's kind of all over the place. The thing about Ezreal is that I think he got buffed in the A patch. So I'm not entirely sure that means they can nerf Ezreal. They would have to nerf other aspects of Heartsteel. But I'm not entirely sure. Like I don't know the technicals of it. I haven't heard much about Scrappy. So basically the summary of it is Scrappy Inventions is bugged where it's actually buried treasures plus Scrappy Inventions. You get 3 components for the next few rounds, and you still get the Scrappy Inventions effect. So it's just like it's actually very, very, very OP. It's 2 gold augments in 1. Yeah, you talk about free gold augments with Tome. I mean, you just get 2 free augments like that. So if you're not picking Scrappy Inventions, you get offered 2-1, then yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You probably just left LP on the table. Oh my god, this Yasuo, dude. Can you explain why you need about 450 LP to reach GM, but in Vietnam you need about 650 LP? Player base. The bigger the player base is, the more LP there is traded like in the system, and more people queuing up. And so it's just like the bigger player base, the higher the LP inflations. Theoretically, it means that Vietnam is the harder server to climb in than a lot of other servers, but the population size in Vietnam, as far as I know, is insane. I also want to watch the Vietnam qualifiers because I think that Vietnam is maybe like 1 or 2 sets away from probably being like a legit powerhouse. I really think very highly of like YBY and some of the other like Piva, some of the really strong ladder players, because I watch some of their gameplay and they're hyper consistent. I don't know if that means that they don't make mistakes or whatever like that, because I'm sure they do, but in general, like I respect their opinions. So I think I'm gonna start adding Vietnam tournaments to our repertoire of like tournaments we watch.
天选势必得换啊，但是他现在的经济状况
I want to see the win rate of Tom on Krugs.
哦，来了，
It's probably in like the 20s. It's probably in the 20s.
有还是每一回合都 all in 哦。鞋要用到底吗？最后也没有。死哥可以考虑等2星再换，还是现在这要凑7杀？也没有。好，他一直在 flex， 一直在 flex。
Zed Pentakill.
死哥不要了。
Lucky gloves with sleight of hand.
因为他
3 thieves gloves and lucky gloves. Oh man.
其实我觉得真能留那个死哥，因为有的时候你就会需要去直接处决掉后排的能力。
是。
对。
Well, I mean, when you get to play these many carries, your board's not gonna be bad. Wait, does he lose to Yasuo? He loses. How much AD does his Yasuo have? Yasuo's going crazy, man. Sniper Soak is Mana Zane Ezreal, so that is what he ended up going for. He has a Mana Zane on the MF as well, he's about to cash out. What the Forge Heartsteel sounds really fun. Because as you get more components and stuff like that, they all keep transforming, so you just keep getting more and more Aura effects. It sounds really fun. The Vietnam regional qualifiers had huge drama. Wait, what was the drama? Fill me in, fill me in. I want the deets on the drama. Is it good drama, or is it like, you know, or is it like fake drama? Do you think support anything to rebalance? Maybe. I think ZZ Rod in general is a really awkward item because of the way the taunt interacts with things. Oh my god, Headliner Jin with a Mana Zane. No way! Hold on, we need another item though. We need another item. He just sells the MF open. Can you double Mana Zane? I don't even know. I've never tried. Wait, he has no bench. He's playing Cluttered Mind. Cluttered Mind Jin. You can't? Okay. Sell your bench. Sell your bench. Mana Zane Jin. Mana Zane Ezreal. Sell your board. Sell your bench. Sell your bench. Okay, he's doing it. He's keeping 4 units though. He only got 4 spots open. Nice Mana Zane, man. All right, I mean, he has Jin too. He has 40 HP as well, so he had room to give. He also sold the right side of his bench. I heard you look up stats like Delta, whatever that is, but it's always on another monitor. Can you explain how to do it? Delta is the difference between having it and not. If you are a fan of sports, it's like point differential. So if you have LeBron James on the court, what is his plus minus, aka like how like the score differential of when he's on the court versus off? It's basically that. Delta means change. Yeah, but that doesn't help people like understand. You're defining Delta, but you're not helping them understand Delta. Like if you say like Delta just means change, it's like okay, but like what kind of change? So a lot of times people like using Delta to explain how good an item is because if you don't have it versus other items which has a bigger impact, is showing you a performance gap. So like not having like when you have Mana Zane on Jin versus not is a big gap, and that implies huge power because it's getting a major spike. If it has a minor gap for not having it, like you know minus 0.1 delta or something like that, it means it's okay. If you have it, it's a minor. It's okay. It performs well, but it's not that big of a difference. So you're looking for a big delta. You love big deltas. That's what you want. Negative delta is better. Yes, negative delta is better because you're increasing your placement from like 4 to 3, so you're technically going negative. So on and so forth. Man, this guy's board is so capped with items. Binary, and he has like max items. Looking for Sona. We found Sona. Maybe we should pop this anvil, but like he's rolling first to see what he can get.
有约瑞科
Sold the Sona.
哇，
提
玻璃没
升不大
有星，
Really?
大，
算挺可惜。
One that keeps Kiana in.
上九抽的稍微差了一点。
Wow, I did not think that was gonna happen. Usually Sona is how you cap a lot of Ari boards. I am very surprised by that.
刚好是
You'd rather play Seraphine 2? That can't be right.
比较接近的，
That can't be right.
因为另外两家看起来
Is there anything else I'm missing here? Binary, Inspiring Epitaph.
还好，安卡没有去打那只阿里，就在前面一直滑来滑去。
He loses KDA, yeah, but 3 to 5 KDA compared to like having the Sona is like a really big
没
difference.
办法，他
The Delta, man, the Delta.
上九之后低的
Think about the Delta.
这个样子，所以有时候你要在8等花钱还是上九，其实也是蛮难判断的。
蛮大的一个难题。
哎，
这个
Basically, the drama is Piva made his lobby disqualified by not playing.
他没有路线的装备，不然其实路线的主修蛮强的。
哦，原来他停在这不是考虑是没钱的。
What?
没钱
Piva basically made his lobby disqualified by not playing the last few games of the day. So he basically just
这边上九
AF, like he decided so they made him play 7-person lobbies.
找到吉亚纳，
Oh, what?
那就意味着
Is that again? I guess if it's within the rules, I guess they allowed it.
看一下打这家
Is that kind of like chess where they just like intentionally draw? No, not really. He just like basically stopped, decided to go 8th every game, and then he like ruined it for the rest of the 7 players.
太帅了
这样子应该赢啊。
这亚素永远都可以走
Or he
到
decided to just quit the tournament.
自己钻
这亚
进
素
去
Did he quit the tournament?
有，这是谁玩的
反正不是小呆瓜，
？OK，
谁玩的都可以，但不会是小呆瓜。
好，这个有诶，钻进七的感觉他。
I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting information from my YouTube chat. My YouTube chat is telling me that there's some drama going on in the Vietnamese community based off the tournament, the qualifiers that happened yesterday. And apparently, Piva, who is a player that went to the World Championship and is one of the highest performing ladder players in that region, is involved in it. So I'm just I'm trying to get the information real time.
在三娜身上的那个装备，
对，是他的嗜血。
Deathfire Grass, Jin, and Ezreal. That can't be what he was hoping for.
撑过这个上去
DFG, Manazane, Ezreal, and Jin. There's not...
没关系，他就是上去在
Oh man, that's
你的那
not
个
对
就你可以有
not what you're looking forward to getting.
哇，
但关键就
He
是
gets owned. I mean, he's probably just third. Is this current patch? Yes, it is. He went to go watch the All-Star game.
他是116
I like that. That's a good meme. If people don't know, this was like an old thing in TFT where someone literally quit a tournament to go watch the NBA All-Star
一
game.
点啊，稳一点，
他差一张而已。
不然上
Yeah, Zonia's would be nuts because the ability for Jin to get that invincibility is huge.
等一下第一个一下就161就出来了，这样子就会有点心理不
就会有
平衡
一点，不平衡。
就觉得有点小吃亏。哎，可是他这边又有窃贼可以
GG. It becomes an item.
啊，
挺开心的。
Looking for a third Ezreal item here.
其实就真的只是开人口而
刷
已，钱
刷
非常
看有
少。
什么羁绊可以补的，可以啦，这个圣雷西补上去。
Triforce. Oh, nice. Okay. Maybe he can get second. Maybe he can get second.
挺美的。
That was big. That was big.
哦，他这个是祝你老，
哦
还蛮不错的。还可以再
Not really positioning changed much. Oh, he put the Yasuo and the thing. He didn't put his tankiest unit in front of Yasuo. Oh, he kind of got... He actually RNG'd the Yasuo. Oh my gosh. It's actually so lucky. If the Yasuo... Okay, so what ends up happening...
这边只要不要被走，
Yasuo Edgelord dashes and kills this. And after he kills this, he focuses down and kills his tentacle. He can start... He has a 50-50 to go to the back line here. But he started walking towards the Alawi.
哎呀，
And sometimes, like, that split second can make all the difference in the world because he slices, ults, and then slices and gets to the back line.
哎但是被秒掉
It can,
了
like, be the difference between winning and losing the fight. He's very fortunate that happened that way.
进入环节
哇，这样在一起
As you guys know, in TFT, and honestly League of Legends and other games, like, a split second of, like, how you position can make the difference of winning the fight or losing it. Especially with the hyper carry like Yasuo.
只会对 它只会提升越来越多，但是在信这边就比较难再提升了。
没错。
Oh, actually, let me ask in YouTube chat. Is there a stream for the VN qual?
好，基亚纳吃一件。
他既然那得去对，可是其实
I was playing in the Aegis Esports group, and a guy left to join a WoW raid.
这种生气的是基亚纳没有办法去偷装备的。
I mean, sounds like he's got his priorities right. Not really. I mean, WoW raids. I mean, they're actually pretty strict about that. If you're like if you're not actually on time or whatever, or like your raids are like you're not actively participating in it, they'll cut you.
哦，太棒了！
Oh
就喜欢这样，好看。
Nah. Wow, that was actually really close though. The big ghoul doesn't mess around.
你可以打的这么难分难舍，已经很厉害了。
没有这样子告诉大家，现在这个刀客绝对还是能赌的哦。
是。
Why have you guys been streaming the tournament? Like co-streaming it or competing in it?
是。
然后就是算前面压着节奏打上来的。
而且现在跟他竞争的也是。
All right, last fight. After this, we have one more game, and then I think we're done. We'll play some ladder, and then depending on what's going on, let's see how active the leaderboard is for North America. But we can maybe start watching some snapshot stuff. We can just like start looking at how some players are climbing.
打到7之1啊！帮约瑞科找最后一件装。
A lot of people are climbing for snapshots.
百位了吧？感觉钱花一花就去看一下。
Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau are good regions. Yeah, I would say that they're underrated. They're part of the SCA, and SCA I think is firmly in tier 2. Tier 1 is China and NA, and EMEA on a good day for sure. Like on average, EMEA is a tier 1 region, and then tier 2 I think is SEA, Japan.
对，他就能够很稳定的开出。
Well, I mean, Japan because title's like that good. Honestly, title single-handedly puts Japan in tier 2. Like, it's not even necessarily fair. Like, Japan itself is like kind of, as a region as a whole, like kind of weak. They're probably tier 3 actually.
太好了，
他只是后面把它摆到中间去了。
这就是主播。
哎呀，
NA is overrated though. Okay, what are you even talking about? There were 3 major international competitions that happened this year, and North America won 2 of them, and Japan won the 3rd. You're telling me NA is overrated? What are you talking about?
就是要看一下其他人的表现的。
哦，
对，但也告诉大家，这个刀客绝对是能赌的，想不到连这个大成的新钢
Which 3? The 2 World Championships in Vegas.
之外，感觉2个阵容其实应该5-5坡啦，
真的蛮意
就
外的。
有输有赢，只是刚好那个棉花糖那边的血量比较少，对，所以就。
MSI doesn't count. Okay, if you count MSI, then Japan won 2 of them because Title won Worlds and he won MSI. Dude, NA is good. It's NA is for sure tier 1 for sure. CN is tier 1. EMEA I think as a whole is probably tier 1. Tier 2 is probably SCA, and I put Japan because of title. And probably Korea on their best days, but Korea is kind of iffy. And this is part of SEA. And then I probably put tier 3 as Latin Brazil OC. But it's not like their best players of those regions can't compete, right? I'm not implying like they're like so much worse. The gaps are closer than you think. I'm talking about like overall strength of region. 80% of the players were North America. I mean, that is true, but North America also won. And also, pound for pound, like EMA sent like some of their best players. Like EMA sent some of their very best players. Like North America, like 80%. Okay, you said 80% of the players were North America, but like 75% of them are like not actually thinking they can win the tournament. EMEA sent players who all thought that they could possibly win, right? No. Like it's different because like we have a lot of people who just like, okay, I'm like local or I'm just gonna attend because I want to be there. Like we had a lot of NA players that went there without the expectation that they thought they were gonna be competitive. NA sent sweats. They sent like all their best, and so like I don't know, like it's gonna be the same exact thing. Like if when we win another LAN, like how many more LANs are we gonna have to win before you guys run out of excuses? Like we're gonna win another one, and you're gonna be like, well, you know, they just high rolled, I guess. More dogs from North America too, you know. That's literally what they're gonna start resorting to.
对，10杀5，然后什么6庞克，10 KDA， 9出 damage。
有，期待。这个黑轮吗？
是。
We didn't even send our best of the best. We didn't even have Wasian, man. That's right. That's right.
对，百般宠爱决赛。哦，这是亚素。
Did you say Vegas is a crapshoot? Yeah, it totally is. But that doesn't mean that we don't get to talk about who won. Like everything I said is factually correct. Vegas is a crapshoot, and North America has won 2 out of the 3 international major competitions in 2023. I'm literally just stating. I'm just literally observing facts, guys. I'm not even trying to add colored commentary to it. I'm just telling you what happened. You can keep arguing with history, but it doesn't change what happened. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you. I don't know. And if you count MSI, Japan won too, which I mean, Title probably by himself puts him. Maybe we should put Japan in tier 1 because Title, this kid is an animal. All right, so we're gonna start off with gold tier augments. I don't know what the portal this is. This is game 6 though. I'm just gonna go ahead and not change it right now. Where do you think of Setsuko on the big stage? Bryce believes that Setsuko didn't perform well at LAN because he struggles with IRL competitions. And so I don't know how much that's true. I haven't actually talked to Setsuko about Vegas. I'm one of those people that don't want to bring it up if players don't want to talk about it. So because you know I just believe that they'll talk about it if they want to talk about it. And so when Setsuko lost, I didn't talk to him at all about the tournament at all. We talked about other things. If we did even talk, right? Like it was very brief. We only chatted like in a group conversation, like barely. But I don't know if that's true. And if so, that's going to be a major hurdle for him to overcome because playing on stage or playing at LAN is going to be tough. People are like saying that they don't like being able to hear like competitors, right? If you went to Vegas, you would know that you have headsets on, but you can hear everything around you. And a lot of people said that was distracting. Nice, we have Olaf. We're going for Stars Reborn Olaf. I kind of like that personally. Not that I want people to harass the streamers or competitors or whatever like that, but I like that you get a feel of the environment of the room because it adds like a lot of like gravity to the situation, right? It feels like it's pulling you in and you have to like basically not get overwhelmed and consumed by the moment. I like that about competition. I like pressure. I want people to be able to perform under pressure. And that's kind of what competition should be about. Now, it's not that you want to make it artificial, right? You don't want to like, you know, like you could like, well, you could do like a lot of things that put people under pressure. I'm not looking for extreme stuff. I'm just saying like I like that environment in ambiance. It's really nice. It's very distracting, but I think it's cool. Personally, I hope that stays. If you make it like tennis or like a card game thing where like everyone's like has to be like very very quiet. I mean like it's okay. Like you know I did the thing in Hearthstone, right? In Hearthstone it was like you know people were like chatting and then when the game started it was like dead quiet. There's something cool about that for sure. But I really like how excited TFT gets. I think it's a good thing, and I hope that doesn't change. I think that the next LAN, if it happens not in North America, I could easily see it being more traditional, like, you know, quiet and very library-like. And I think that that's okay. Like, maybe we get that. Like, wherever we go next, I don't think we're going to go in North America for the next LAN. I don't have confirmation of that. But wherever the next TFT LAN is, maybe it's going to be a lot more quiet. And maybe we can be like, wow, you know, I kind of thought TFT was hype. What happened? It could just be like a cultural thing. This person's playing Vow. Oh, he's playing he's playing Salvage.
就是基本上可以确保连胜的。
是，但是他这个
Big shot Kais. Oh, is this big games?
只是这边打不赢
Actually, let me look it up real
有点
quick.
炸
毕竟对面是
Big
高贵
game. It is.
确实
What are you playing with big gains?
有点太神了。
Big gains is per 2 takedowns. Let me see. I so rarely play this augment.
夜手
Big gains. Your team gets 80 bonus health and permanently gains 10 health every 2
有点猜不
takedowns.
到他想要玩什么，因为他拿大有斩获，就是他会额外给80的生命。
According to this,
然后
the best way to perform with this is
100
pentakill,
生命那
which doesn't surprise me. Since pentakill is
其实
generally very good.
就比较偏向赌狗类型的，
是
对。
Where TFT players could talk to each other like poker players.
相对其他就是不是那种看到会秒选的，比较偏向
Maybe. I think that might be one step too far, because then some people can use that for actual harassment.
刚好跟他
And like, I don't know. I'm trying to imagine people doing like a cash out turn, and then just people are just like yelling at them.
然后虽然不是首选，但也是有给他拿到攻速。看一下西卡粉，思绪杂乱。
I think it has a lot of room for people to do things that kind of ruin the spirit of competition. I know that might be like amusing, but I don't want
所谓
that kind of.
长
我是
怎么样我都
最强的
不怕。
相信自己。
对，然后他的骑手一直待在他自己的画面。合了一个
Want to have more noise canceling headphones? Oh, I mean, part of it is just how expensive it can be. I think the reason why they might not have like noise canceling boost and headphones stuff like that just might be an expense thing. It's just
好的秀的话，
when you have to start doing that and then multiply it across every station, across like every setup, across all the stations, across the entire venue, it can get like very expensive very quickly.
没有是回收再利用，太强。
Vi 2.
对，这就是回哎，
Do you guys think Vi 2 or Olaf 2 is better?
飞爱也算前
They buffed Punk, so like Punk is a lot better. Like Vi has, I think pound for pound, Olaf is better than Vi, but like if you get Vi and a Jinx,
大家如果在
and Jinx kind of supporting the Vi.
说你今天如果是开冲撞的，冲撞的主修
Like the 1-2 of Vi Jinx versus Olaf plus another 1 cost
配一只可能纳尔
feels like Vi is a little bit better.
帮他开一个冲撞的机
Hard
会
to say.
对，其实在
Both are
这
very
个
good.
很有机会打出连胜，那没有打连胜也是
Oh.
好看一下摘星这边
Death cap.
输了，然后目前
Oh, he is going for pentakill.
是很需要去拼机的，
Big gains to
一
pentakill.
样是选了
Actually, let me go ahead and look that up.
有
Arthas
这一回合能不能赢有一点关键，
Ollie
看起来好像没办法，
哎，讲了就没有，
Viego.
没办法，因为这个
Augments
对面太强了，
差的有点
Big
就是
gain
两个
gains.
而且他也没省帮，
而且没
Huh. It's actually, yeah, it's actually a pretty solid augment for this line. It's very rarely played, but it seems like
自己来
a line you can play.
有啦，毕竟他是
Interesting
男神嘛，所以他嫖个几张也是合理的。
现在欧拉夫
It sounds pretty biased to
对
me.
泰坦，
All right, Richard.
等一下可以
Slow
看
down.
一下
Are you allowed to bring your own headphones? No, you have to use the equipment on Vegas. You're not allowed to bring your own headphones, your own mouse and keyboard. Which some people actually complained about too. They said like, oh, I couldn't feel comfortable in the
能不能
setup because it wasn't my mouse,
有机会吗？
it wasn't my keyboard.
对，正常
Maybe that was it.
另外的期望
Maybe Satsuko got keyboard diffed.
但有没有机会
He didn't have his gaming chair.
哦，有功，
有啦，顶级的，
Double Titans, Ola.
完美的
Okay.
了。
Okay.
战利品
A
第六
tome? Oh, this is loot
开
subscription.
上线的开上线，
哦
跟输的都是开上线，而且它这个是有机会拉高上限哦，10块
10块，刚好
可以，
符合期望值。
Ripped tome into.
挺完美的。
What do we want? Bruiser emblem or pentakill emblem? I think bruiser emblem would be better because that means you get to hit 6 bruiser really quickly and you get to cut a bruiser that's pretty unimpactful.
开不出4斗，有点拖垮你游戏的节奏，但他这边也不用再刷牌去抽他的其他的牌，基础
而且他
牌。
在3阶
Okay, how about this? Can I suggest something kind of crazy?
阶段是5连胜，
Low key. What do you guys think about Edgelord Olaf?
所以你都还是，毕竟你是赌1
How
块，
does that sound?
需要
Just think about it for a second. Just think about it for a second. What about Edgelord Olaf? Does that sound great or does that sound terrible?
5连胜走，然后这边还有40块，下还有一个
It sounds awful. Okay, okay.
开一个上限，也是有机会
哦，
I don't know. I've never tried it. So.
虽然听起来很抽象，
But
但都是有机会。
if let's say you get six bruisers, 3 pentakill, 7 edgelord Olaf.
觉得挺适合。
好，他选了这个，好，他百位高手，那也可以。
And then Olaf all of a sudden just flips. Like he just gets back. He gets to the back line and he starts assassinating units.
人口一多，真的不太。
他这开的很漂亮哎。
又省了一个，
Gets a bruiser emblem. All right.
哇，
就可以在
That's much more acceptable, but I mean, I like imagining things.
不用刚需，他是只要在一个。
That's like the one thing that I do miss, right? Like I like tome off of
去找到
PV rounds or loose situation, whatever is like
希望欧拉夫
it is what it is.
天选的羁绊
But I kind of miss the ability to try to like mess around with emblems like that because you just don't know like the funny interactions of things. I talk about this pretty often, but like one thing I don't like about set 10 is I kind of miss some of the crazy like what if I combined this onto that and you just didn't really expect that because that was one of the things that hooked me on TFT when I first played.
真的蛮看脸的。
好，我们可以稍微看一下其他人开的哦。这个对面是开了一个超粉，
Curiosity is like a big thing I think missing right now from set 10.
已经找到了这个跳水的。
I don't feel like I have a lot of things left I'm very curious about at the moment.
没有
And I hope that, and I think that if I were to pinpoint it, I think that's part of it. It feels like the experimentation elements of TFT
装备是对的。
right now is so highly emphasized on the what comp can you play based off your opener.
这么顺哦，怎么底
And
下
like
压你
like
然后
you know, obviously you can flex between like the fluidity of stuff like that,
然后
but
就有两个那个
like you know, Superfan for example. But I kind of like really want some more of that kind of shenanigans I just described.
差点以为他天虎，原来还没。
I'm not talking about like Earth metas where you just open an emblem and you say like I'm playing 9 Demacia, right? Like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking more about like weird interactions that you just don't really see,
然后吸血迷信，然后也是
and you can't really replicate.
上限也很高。这就是
It's the 1 in 100 games that you feel like you kind of want to see more of.
有这个算
No anti-heal versus Vi. I mean, it's not that Vi even heals a lot actually, so it's actually not that big of a deal.
会有
就需要
We have an executioner emblem.
看起来还是很有实力，是守护是主机。
看要不要等一下再来一个铲子，就可以看到更完美的对决。
Reveldation, yeah, something that transforms like that could be really really fun. Reveldasia or Whispersdasia were like kind of insane, but Reveldasia was kind of nuts.
就是
嗯
玩大的，
感觉要有
But that was also really really OP.
真的是哎，
Really really OP. I'm trying to think if there's any like specific iconic transformative emblem that was like really really fun to play and you only saw it very like pretty rarely. I can't remember the last time. There's definitely been some, even probably recently. I just can't really remember.
会多给你一个国产。
蓝宁月这边拿了一个中立波，不知道他现在牌面长怎样。
Zon on J4. Ah, that's a really good one actually. No, that's actually a really really good one. Zon on J4, so you can put the explosion mod on him. Yeah, it was like overpowered for that brief period of time, but that was actually really cool. That was actually really really cool. That's a good one. That's actually very recent as well.
给他当一个
装备
使用
看起来
装
是很舒服的，然后蓝领
Stuff like that. Stuff like that.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
它上面其实就带
Lunar Moss
死帽了啊，当然也是
Ruvi, welcome back 11 months. We're almost there at 1 year, man. What do you think?
对，可是他进牌进的有点少。
不过他有开到爵士
Shadow Isles. Yeah, Shadow Isles is also pretty fun too, for sure.
不错的。
It was a little bit more weird because Shadow Isles I don't think was a very well understood trait. Probably because like it was
6等30块经济其实
it was surprisingly complex despite it just being like you just get extra shields. But like when you have shields, you get like extra mana, and then the Shadow Isles units themselves were kind of a little bit unique and weird.
这一把
So
大家
yeah.
上限都很高，
对了，他有最后一波可以慢慢抽了，只是
剩下看发牌员嘛。
对，因为有其他能够开更高上限，他压力会比较大一点。
We have Vampirism plus Unified. We have a really good augment set up
比较
here.
容易受限。
棉花糖
TG.
没有加注，
Hey man, could you give me some intel on Crowdiver Zed? I seemingly repeatedly end up going
太少了。
third-ish when trying it. I can't get scaling well enough. Do you mean like
再加注的话，就已
can
经
you give me a little bit more explanation? Are you talking about when you play Zed with Heartsteel? Or are you talking about like you play 6 Crowd Divers? you're playing 6 Crowd Divers Zed, third sounds about right because a lot of times the Crowd Divers is more about the hyper carry you play with it, like Yone or Katarina, and less about Zed.
这个算
But I'm not entirely sure if I understand.
感觉
KDA Mordekaiser,
直接往10 KDA 去靠，现在10 KDA 的胜率
True Damage. Okay, this guy is kind of cooking. True Damage KO with KDA Mord.
有机会
27分嘛，对不对？这很励志哎。
直接北伐。对，因为他本来前面的战
It's sad that Transformers paths are so abusable. I mean, yeah, but also like
然后
you kind of want some of that like
到的话，因为今天是真的有机会。
oh shit moments in TFT.
打到这里，大家分数
Not everything is supposed to be like a marginal
今天大家
like
都是战况
like
比较
linear staircase improvement type of spike. Sometimes having like wild interactions like that can be like really cool in the game.
算是扛住
Because just think about it from like
哦
the kid talking about it on the couch with another person
他找到
and trying to explain like, okay, this is how it normally works, but if you get this scenario, here's something crazy that can happen. And people love those kinds of moments in games.
不会这里要掉下来哦
这就是我要的大场面，还是这边哎战利品就会掉复制器。
Edge Knight Yone.
打开
You should always pick up the orb because you never know what ends up happening from that orb.
我的
哎，哦，
I guess he's worried about whether or not that orb like changes things with like the bench or something like that.
抓有抓
Like what if it gave him like a Yone too?
可以很好
Then he can stop rolling.
蛮多
A
钱
bunch of gold.
掉钱，好，继续刷，
好哦
来
又有
再哇
本钱
哇，
这是什么意思7等
7等5费
2
2，
张5费但是1张牙宁都没有
哎，没关系，不慌，
Thoughts on Seraphine reroll?
不慌等等会有
Solid, but I think I think I'd rather play Lulu reroll right now
这游戏就是
over Seraphine. I think Lulu reroll caps
他
higher,
的一直出现，
but solid if you have the spot for it.
真的其实
And the other thing about Seraphine reroll is that her best matchup is now not played. Her best matchup was Disco, and now Disco's not played very often. So Seraphine is not necessarily as important to get 3-star.
要要要
Still can do work,
还是
especially if your opponents are playing, you know, like, you know, other KDA boards and they're clumping, or if they're playing like the all backline executioner thing. You know, there's different things that she can actually like potentially do well into. But she's worse this patch because she doesn't have as many good matchups in the meta. Before, she was a really good meta counter because so many people are playing Disco every game.
觉得外面的大台很多但通常3星了3星
哦，回来马上就有，
And yeah, also it's really bad into the Heartsteel, but like Heartsteel in general beats so many comps, so
兵还是怎么样？
I do think that it's a little bit unfair to be like, well, it loses to Heartsteel, so it's not
是顺利的，
not really that viable. It's like, okay, well, like a lot of things lose to it.
上限都很高哦。
哦他这个其实抽的挺不错的嘞
We think of Superfan Nar.
有2个复制装置
对，
Situationally
删了，然后
pretty insane, but
这是哪里来的
I think I'd rather just play like Olaf
北欧
for like the same kind of vibe, which is like a pentakill
战神后面
Giga Juicer.
有一个镜，
还在打
You know, like you're looking for your own crazy 1v9 melee carry type of units. It's probably Olaf, and it's just easier, faster, more efficient than Gnar. But Gnar's funny.
哦感觉好像没低多少甚至
如果他这样可以上9进2星的话，6满勇后面挂一个负 C，其实也是很有说法的。
Can you think of a game where they're able to balance competitive and casual well enough? I do not think it's possible to please both parties with any patch. You think you mean in TFT or just like in gaming in general? They're able to balance competitive and casual. I mean, the answer to that might be no, actually.
还有巴德这样子就是爵士巴德的体系就是爵士
The answer to that might be no. Any game that's like so we can start with the easy ones, which is like what has been mass appealing on a global level and have they been able to do well with the competitive and casual. So we can start with like League of Legends.
哇
And I think a lot of players just say no. You can start with like Fortnite, and you can say no because competitively it's not really great. You can go with
亮
games that I used to cover, like Hearthstone, probably not.
接转，
StarCraft, not casual enough. Back in the day.
有一个铲子在旁边，
这个根本就是
有，这就是战利品订阅。
Counter-Strike is inherently very competitive. Dota's like way too competitive. Trying to think about like all the other games. Rocket League is actually a pretty good one actually. Rocket League used to do it well, but as far as I know, Rocket League these days is not great. Or rather, I believe the way people are describing it is that Rocket League is now transitioning to maintenance mode under Epic, as far as I know.
没有看到他自己那边的。现在
Spatula on a set. No one's actually... Wait, what? No one's picked up the spatula? Isn't there someone who's like playing pentakill big gains? Last pick spatula. It's not even like on like a one cost. It's on set. Pretty good. Warcraft competitively has also not been great outside. I mean, in terms of like the PvP arena.
就不用，哦有10 KDA 了。
6 Akalis.
就是拿到那个
Oh, he's 10 KDA. 10 KDA.
KDA。
Ah, because he has return on investment. Amazing. True damage, 10 KDA Akali. I see. I see. Well, that's loot subscription.
投资报酬
Boom.
再加
Overwatch had the goats meta, which was single-handedly when the reason I stopped watching anything competitive Overwatch since. I don't think I actually watched a competitive Overwatch match since the goats meta.
这个是他刚
That was terrible. It was actually legitimately so unfun to watch.
身上还有一个。
他已经拿去把细节做满，就是给他触发出 damage 的效果了。
人好多，好过瘾。
好漂亮，好美。
然后还可以继续吃，思绪杂乱。
You know, it's a really good question. I don't think any game has been able to strike it perfectly
我以为你要
because probably it's almost a paradox because you want two groups of people who want different things to both be happy, and that might be impossible because if you do make people generally happy, there's probably another group of players that like a lot of people who try to marry the concepts end up making both groups unhappy.
比较难一点。
I actually think that TFT might actually encounter something like this, where I think do you know the reputation that Set 10 has? Oh, this is Bard 3 going 8th. Oh no, Last Stand, big gains, Last Stand, Bard.
旁边还有2个。
Okay, hold on a second. We gotta see how this pans out.
这一场太多怪物了。
有哎，这一把如果摘星吃真的太完美了，这个太艺术级的。
Smash Melee achieved it. Smash Melee is not really a casual game, but like I guess at the time people loved playing Smash Melee. But that was before everyone discovered what it had to offer competitively. If it came out of the gate, if Smash Melee were to release in modern day with like the way people try to push esports and competitive and like optimizations like that, you could argue that it wouldn't be anywhere near as popular. People in fighting games don't want to be reminded how bad they are. That's actually true of any game, but like fighting games in general, like there's a reason why they always have a population struggling issues because of stuff like that. Oh my gosh, another tome. This is what, the third tome? Or second tome? They've had so many tomes so far. They've had gold, they've had tomes, they've had one other thing I can't remember. What do you even want? Maybe another execution emblem, but then who do you even play it on? Emo. You want emo emblem. Emo Karthus.
再一张，
Emo.
再一张就好。
Okay, but it's Karthus 1. Maybe Twitch? You know, emo Twitch is pretty underrated. People don't emo him enough. We had a third item for Twitch though.
要再给一张啊，不然这个也是有点压力啊，大家看起来都跟鬼一样。
哇，这边要再被踹一脚。
Oh my gosh. Twitch?
吗？
感觉有机会。
Oh, it's so close. Emo Karthus. Emo Karthus. Okay, I think Bard 3 went 8th. Last Stand Bard 3 went -17.
对，但是所以如果没有太早
Oh no. Sag.
小尴尬，小尴尬。
Dash Jazz Bard won a game in EMEA. Well, it did not do that hot in
粉也是
in this lobby. Wait, this guy has 2 KDA emblems and he is not playing 10 KDA.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
Okay, now he has 10 KDA.
开得非常漂亮。
居然有2家10 KDA，
2 players have 10 KDA. Hold on a second.
超级大场面。
大家已经没有任何的容错了，而且他前面都是，就是他已经是6连败了，所以他刚好
Baliska, thank you for the
在
prime.
的时候又给了一个点击，变成10 KDA， 那打不打？
The Sakai can't even attack. She's just stuck here in the bottom left.
看一下，注意这个阿里，
他这
还没有
阿卡里
对到拉
挂机挂
夫身上，
超久。
I wonder if that's gonna make a diff.
已经挥起来了。
Olaf 3 versus 10 pentakill
觉得是
or 10 KDA.
好，应该是过了，
Nope.
轻轻松松。
Too much HP to cut
打
through.
都是非常吃香的。就是如果说
就即便是一开始没有
Talking about 1-200 games? Yeah, I don't. I mean, this is one of those games.
魔攻嘛，然后后面就越有机会能够去斩杀掉他的欧拉夫，而且毕
现在也只
竟他有控场。
剩摘星在烧了，
对，就是两个。
就是这2家的 PK 了。
10 pentakill, 10 KDA, 9 true damage. I want to see them all face off. That does sound cool.
在冒火，血量也是大优势。
People love seeing big explosions and Titans go at it.
看到他，可能已经准备
You guys can like roll your eyes and be like, okay, wow, like 10 KDA versus 10 pentakill. Wow, so cool.
打到的是
And it's like, yeah, but then like there's a group of you that also say that, and then also is like, oh my god, but did you see like the Avengers movie when Iron Man went up against Captain America?
但可惜了，
Civil War was when Avengers peaked.
要拿一样的徽章，徽章得是自选的啊。
Is this 10 KDA versus 10 KDA?
看起来虽然打很久，但是其实是
Or how about when, you know, Sakuna is going up against Gojo?
加成的太
I mean, people just love seeing like really powerful stuff go up against each other, guys. It's not actually an uncommon phenomenon at all.
这一轮阶段的选秀
6 bruisers.
走了，
Olaf is probably going to start bleeding out here.
看一下摘星有没有办法，因为在
Sorry, I didn't mean to spoil the Avengers timeline.
备还挺多的，
对啊
随，便挑一个，我挑了一个巨杀，
巨杀其实摘星这个很关键的，因为 KDA 就是血量非常高，10 KDA 的话
10 KDA, 4 true damage. I mean, you know what? I'm down to just juice it up. 10 KDA, 9 true damage. Just drop them 5 more true damage emblems. Why not? KDA Sona.
非常关键。
I'm Sakuna, Bat Chest. No, I'm Sakuna, Bat Chest. No, I'm Sakuna. That's literally their conversation. That's literally what their conversation is. I'm not even exaggerating. That's actually what they just said to each other. Oh, man, I can't believe it. That was literally Precedent and Soju's conversation for like a
不
week.
过就是等着他
Oh my god.
唢呐开大，然后帮他的阿里。
Oh, here we go. 10 KDA versus 10 KDA.
对，
Oh,
有10K 内战有赢吗？
3 Ionic Sparks.
好像很轻松哎，
Wow. It turns out 10 KDA 4 true damage was better than 10 KDA 2 true damage.
KDA 没分 ，Why？因为有另外一家10 KDA，
我
可是这没办法，这是容错的问题。
He also has like a fawn, so he gets an extra unit as well, which can be really swingy.
他不是
Also, do the guy still have RE1?
10 KDA 没分，
真的是有你要的大场面呢。
没错，我
他
现在还在
今天要睡不
等，
着了。
要
10 KDA went 5th. Yeah, see, it's not. It
OK，
didn't even do that well.
4倍3
10 KDA sucks. It went bot 4.
我另外一家10 KDA 可以跟他打一个焦灼，有没有？
Remember when Mordog made emblems hard to get?
就赶快生死，然后抽个5倍3，帅一下。
I mean, he did. Emblems are hard to get.
上了，可是他前排有点多，所以这约瑞克有可能要挂机了。
Long distance pals,
前排太
pentakill Kane.
这个要等
Imagine if he gets. He can actually go for 10 pentakill, right?
对约瑞
No, he only has 1
要
emblem.
找哦，可以。
Ha! 1 emblem going up against this guy who has 3 KD emblems and a true damage emblem.
绝对没有。
74 HP, man. He's just gonna run away with it.
哇，那好像
Dude, 10 KDA versus 10 KDA?
也被他打到没分了嘛。
而且摘星他的
I mean, you gotta admit, it's kind of hype. 7 KDA? All these boards are so good. They could win lobbies on their own.
两个巨杀，但是我觉得他对这个阵容啊，还有装备的适配性
This portal is stupid. Man, what happened, you guys? All the people chatting are such jaded TFT players. Is there anybody else actually having fun with TFT, or is it just me? This guy has six collies. I wish you were in this lot. Well, yeah, because I'd be the 10 KDA player. Duh. Oh, another spatula. Okay. Hi, today I had the craziest double up game in Masters Elo with loose subscription. The final standout was 10 Heartsteel versus 8 Punk versus 10 KDA versus 10 Pentakill versus another 10 KDA and 10 True Damage. I mean, that sounds pretty epic. But have you thought about my 3 Jazz and 2 Bruisers and 3 Superfan and 3 Spellweaver board go up against 2 Crowd Diver, 2 Sentinel, and 2 Guardian? That sounds even more exciting. Whoa. I'm just yanking you guys' chains. I'm having fun with TFT, but I feel like this season is harder ranking up. I mean, it's just more competitive, and also there's more divisions. They just put Emerald up. All right, another true damage emblem. 4 true damage now can go to 5. This is actually insanity. He's actually farming so many. He has 5 emblems, 3 KDA emblems, 2 true damage emblems, and a Tactician's Crown. Do you guys remember the Portal Bandle Cafeteria? Could you imagine? Bandle Cafeteria in this setup? Just imagine all the Yordle snacking. He can also go to 10. How is this guy alive at level 7 going up against... Like, this is Exodia. This is straight up Exodia. You can't actually beat this. Wow, he won. Who did he beat? Did he beat the KDA player? It's probably because of the ghost bug, right? The ghost is weaker. There's no way he actually beat that board in a straight up. I'm having fun with TFTs. The first set I've played since the one with the level 5 Super Dragon comp. I'm not entirely sure if I know which set you're talking about. Super Dragons? Are you talking about set 7 with dragons? 6 true damage, 10 KDA. We did it. We went to 10, and we have the most juice board I think I've seen. All sets. 6 true damage on top of 10 KDA with true damage, Akali, and true damage Ari both having 10 KDA. This guy won with 74 HP. It was not even close. Only Kiana won. Yawn. Right. You know, strategy gamers also are in the same breath gonna say, like, you know what they do? They play games like Slay the Spire, and they build decks like this. They play games like Slay the Spire, and they play decks like this. They play the equivalent of 10 KDA and 6 true damage, and they're like, man, Slay the Spire is just the best. And they're like, yeah, 10 KDA though, it's just so boring. So boring. Veg. I'm actually being completely intellectually dishonest because obviously it's a completely different game and genre and different criteria. But I'm just saying, like, some people just love playing powerful stuff, man. Powerful stuff is cool. Powerful stuff is cool. He was barely playing around vampires. What do you need vampirism for? What lifesteal do you need, man? You have 10,000 HP, and you have 10,000 AD, and you have 10,000 AP. Like, there's nothing. You don't need vampirism, man. It's just over. Also, Slay the Spire is one of my favorite games for sure. All right, that's it. That's it. So actually, we should look at who advanced. We should look at who advanced today. We should look at who advanced today. So congratulations to people who don't enjoy exotic comps are dumb. No, it's just some people have seen it too much. It's just more that they're ready for the new content. They're hyper engaged and they want to see new things. They just don't want to see the old things. Okay, Terry. Oh, this is the punk guy. First in points. Not bad. These are the players who all advance, right? Stay alive. We got the Owo clan. Owo, and Black Big Big top 16. Is it top 16 cut? Wawa, who was also in our chat yesterday, also advanced. Cue it up. All right, I'll cue it up.